Welcome back to another episode of the Stock Car Podcast. Today we have the most asked for guest we've ever anytime we put a podcast out or any video out. When's Frankie Wainman coming on? When's Frankie Wainman coming on? Get a podcast with Frankie Wainman, and we finally nailed him down and we found out where he lives and where his workshop is, and we've managed to come here and do a podcast. Thank you very much, Frankie, for coming on the pod, the Stock Car Podcast.
Absolutely fine. I should apologise they couldn't get Frankie Wainman. He had to have his dad.
Right. How we like to start off the Stock Car Podcast, I normally speak to you about... We have got Tallulah here as well. She's the director.
She's fine. She's having a whale of a time over there.
A bit of pizza in her mouth. I talk about what I know about the guest that comes on, and this is Frankie Wainman Jnr. The first time I ever heard of you was from Gears and Tears, like many others. It was from Gears and Tears, and I did pick the Wainman side over the Smiths.
Good. I did hear that, and I was like, yep. We'll do an interview with him,
Brownie points, I got it. I don't know what it was, but we picked the Wainman side.
Yeah.
And so after that come out, the next year's World Final at Coventry, I came and watched.
Yeah,
you lose
like a lot of people did. You know, it was absolutely massive, brilliant for the sport.
Wasn't it just?
Yeah, it was. It gave the whole sport a lift. Mm-hmm. Everything. It didn't matter what we did or the Smiths did. It didn't matter. It was just the fact that the whole sport won as a whole. The crowd, the buzz was different.
Was it different for you drivers?
Oh, absolutely.
You could tell something had
100%. And you know, as me and Andy were the sort of main two, it meant a lot to both of us, to be fair. And it was superb to be involved with, and just to give that lift. I remember the very first one. It was the strangest thing. We were in the Isle of Man with the kids racing the minis when the first one came on.
The first episode?
The first episode came on air, and we hadn't seen it. They wouldn't let us see any of it or anything. So we were sat in, what I can only say, all the mini lot were on the same campsite. So on the campsite back then, there was like a telly room or...
Is this Onchan? Is it Onchan?
Onchan Raceway.
Right,
yeah, so we're all sat in this campsite television room to watch it.
Right.
So we didn't even watch it in his own house. Do you know what I mean? We was sat with all these mini lot and it came on and we didn't have a clue what it was going to be. And it was just, I was sat there and when it finished, I was like, yeah, that was all right. It was good. And I could tell straight away that for the sport, it was just going to give it that lift. I mean, for the next day after going down, even into the village, the amount of people that stopped me and said, didn't realise you did that. Didn't realise what it entailed, didn't realise what stock car racing was. And they're in my village. So you imagine that.
Across the UK.
Yeah. It had to give it a lift it needed maybe at the time, you know, just to inject a bit of newness into it, new fans. So yeah, it was good.
But it done its job.
Absolutely.
Done its job.
Yeah.
Nice. We might as well carry on talking about the Gears and Tears then, because we've started with that. But yeah, anyway, going back to what I knew about you, I come and watched you. I'd watched you lose, unfortunately, that year.
Yep.
But then, obviously, I become a massive fan, and I actually started following F1s from then. I was racing ORCI mini stocks at the time, so we didn't really get to see the BRISCA side.
Yeah, you see down that end.
We're Speedway South side.
Yeah.
And obviously become a Wainman fan, and then I did start following the F1s a bit and fell in love, really.
Yeah.
And ever since then, it was my dream to race one. So,
yeah,
that's what I know about you. Obviously, you're multi champion. God knows how many national points, and British and European.
Yep.
And 3-time world champion.
Yep.
But yeah, so that's what I know about you. We'll get on to the Gears and Tears later on, actually. We'll crack on with that because there's plenty to talk about with that as well. What I'd like to start off with is your early racing memories. So what you remember, obviously, with your dad racing, was there anything... Was it your dad that started?
Yeah, my dad sort of went to watch stock cars in 1970.
Yeah.
He did a lot of second-hand tractors, did a lot of engineering sort of work at the time. And
at the track?
No.
Right, yeah.
At the farm here.
Yeah.
And he sort of went with some of his mates to watch a meeting. I think he went to Nelson. And he sort of thought, I could build one of them. So he did. He came home and he built one. And when you look back at the pictures, actually, one come up on my memories on my phone the other day, and I looked at it and I thought, that's not bad, that. For that 1971, do you know what I mean? Some of them were just a bit relic-y looking.
Yeah.
He looked all right, and I thought, and he never looked back. He got straight into it. Started in 71, same year I was born, and raced from there. So obviously my first meeting was, I was 10 days old when I went to my first meeting, and I just went time and time again. So obviously, it's
was it every week with your dad?
Yeah,
he was doing it every
but
week.
back then, they used to start and go, and then obviously in the mid-70s and onwards, he just did every meeting every year. Yeah, so it was, and then obviously when I was growing up and old enough to be in the garage, I was trying to help, and then ended up helping him mechanicking properly and building his cars before I started building mine, and it just got really good. So
you was already, before you even, what age was that? Just as early as you can remember, you was out there doing
I can't really remember. I mean, obviously I raced minis when I was 10. It was before that. So like sort of 8-9-year-old, I'd be in here
just tinkering and helping, doing something.
Yeah, getting in the way probably.
Yeah, well, you do.
You know what I mean? Getting
so,
shouted at by the mechanics for doing stuff wrong. But like, that's how you learn, isn't it?
Yeah.
And obviously, you know, got onto the minis when I started when I was 10, so I'd been like 81, 82.
What year did he win the world? Was it
79?
79.
79.
Do you remember that?
I don't remember a lot about it, to be fair. I was lucky enough to I've been trying to get it on DVD for years. And the man who had it really is a bit, he likes to keep his films, he doesn't want people to have them. And I managed to get a copy off him, and I sat and watched it with Sam, and I absolutely loved it. I did. It was good.
But you don't remember it, but it's nice to...
No,
I
don't remember the night. I remember coming home and saying to everybody, make sure you wake me up when we get home for the party and stuff. I remember that. But the race itself, I don't remember a lot about it. I don't. So, yeah.
So that was 79.
Yeah.
And then 81, 82, you started minis?
Yes. Yeah.
Whose car was that?
We built one.
You built one?
Yeah, me and my granddad and my dad, and a man who used to come up and do some welding for called Richard Clarkson. He used to come up every Saturday. He had a normal job, but he used to come every Saturday morning. Any welding, he used to just weld. Yeah. And we all set to and built this mini and started in 81.
How'd you get on in the minis?
All right, yeah, good.
Yeah.
After a few years, it was hard to start with. It's funny, when I was watching the Andy Smith interview you did, me and Andy were very similar in the minis, because obviously his dad was racing, didn't have the time, and I was the same. So I didn't do many meetings. We only raced when the Formula Ones were on.
So it's literally both the same.
The pair of you
hard. You both want to do it so bad, and you're hands on. But where both your dads are racing full time in Formula One, you're on the back.
You're screwed, yeah. And if my car needed work on it and they didn't have time, it didn't get done. I didn't race and stuff like that. And then in the latter years, I was lucky enough to get sponsored by Martin O'Neill, who then went on to do Andy Smith after I finished. So he's
a couple of years younger than you, Andy.
Yeah. So it kind of worked quite good. I had a few people who tech me before that. Ian Higgins' dad, Dennis Higgins.
Yeah.
He took me to quite a few meetings. As my career was going on in the minis, obviously people were seeing that I wasn't doing the meetings, and when I did race, I was good.
Yeah.
So they wanted to tech me, and they used to tech me in. You know, we built a little trailer, and then they'd hook it on the car, and we'd zip off and do a meeting. But it wasn't till Mon took me under his wing properly, and I spent a lot of time down there.
Would that have been the last couple of years or something?
Yes, yeah. And then we were at every meeting. You know, I remember last year we went up to Scotland, Newton Grange, with Rob Speak. We met Rob on the motorway. Billy had just bought a bus. He turned up with his bus, and we went up and did the Scottish on the Saturday night. I won the Scottish, obviously. Rob didn't, but you know, we won't mention that too many times. Don't rub that in at all. And then we drove down to Skegness through the night, and I just remember the lad who took me up there, Ian Frobisher. It was too knackered to drive, and I ended up driving the truck. You know, I was 15, and we had this 7.5 ton truck, flatbed with 2 minis on it, and I'm like, no, we're going Skegness, and he was like, I said, no, I'll drive. So he just slept, and I drove down, and you know, but I just wanted to race, you know what I mean? And we all got to Skeggy for the day after, and raced the day after. So yeah,
that's commitment. That is.
Yeah, it's probably not the best thing to be doing in your life.
Many moons ago, Frank.
It is, and we did the same coming back from Holland. A few of us went to Holland. I was 15, and my dad raced at Ghent. And again, we were driving home, and everybody was knackered. There was only a few of us went, and I ended up driving the bus and the trailer. And like in Holland, do you know what I mean? When I was 15 years old, and you look back and you think, you probably get locked up for that now, but, you know, they only need to get some sleep because we were racing when we got the day we got back, do you know what I mean? So
the thing is, it's naughty doing that, but the memories that you make. And
absolutely.
You know what I mean? You're there sitting there, everyone's asleep, you're like, am I really doing this?
Yeah, you know, and you sit there and you think, yeah, this is a bit of me. I like this. I do all the driving now. I just love it. I love driving to meetings and back, and it's just part of it for me. I love every part of that. Yeah.
Nice. So the mini stocks then. Did you win? Did they have titles then? They've always
had
titles.
Yeah. I won everything but the gold. I never won the gold.
Oh, well, your boy did.
The gold. Yeah, he did. We made sure he did for sure.
You had to get your win through him, didn't you?
Yes. It kind of. A little bit, yeah. To be honest, I missed out on the gold in the minis. I think I only had 2 really good attempts at it with Mon, and something went wrong both times. But you know, we won the silver. We won every other championship. You know what I mean? That was going then.
Were they quite competitive then?
Oh
still?
God, yeah.
Because like now they're obviously very competitive, but they still then.
Yeah, they were.
I suppose it's just the next generation now.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's exactly the same. It just moves
you've had
on.
Andy Smith, Rob Speak, and all them.
Absolutely.
Still the same people you've been racing when you was older.
Yeah.
So the competitiveness was there in the minis back then.
It's just the names as well. You know, when I was racing the minis, it was the Woodalls, which will have been Phil and Mark. Obviously, their lads are racing the 2s now, and just lots of names that race. Rob Speak, Andy Smith, he came in at the end when I was sort of finishing. Andy had just started, so you know you do race with a lot of drivers that you still race with now or you know of now.
All their sons and daughters.
Yeah,
now,
sons
even.
and daughters. Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely. So then, mini stocks. Obviously, your dad was racing F1s. You finished the mini stocks at 16.
Yep.
Did you have a car built already?
Yep.
You already, before you even hit 16,
Yep.
you had your own car built by you?
Yeah. Yeah, we built an F1, yeah.
And how did that come about? Before you was even 16, did you say to your dad,
No, it was always going to be a thing. I said that I built a couple of cars for my dad, sort of when I was sort of late 14, 15.
Wow.
Yeah, you know, we just started building them then, and obviously, so it was always a thing that my first car, I would just build it.
Yeah.
So we did, you know, and obviously it was laid out and set like my dad's car was then.
But you'd already done that.
Yeah. So, you know, and that's what we built, and it was a good car, really good. It's still going now.
That white one, that white and blue
one?
Yeah,
the white and blue one. It's in all that. I don't know if it's coming back. I heard it's coming back. But yeah, it went to Ray Scriven had it after me. Michael and Neil's dad.
Yeah.
And then obviously I ended up buying it back from him at some stage later on because I knew it would be good for the heritage, and yeah, it was good.
So then, once you got in there, obviously going in at 16 is massive, even back then and even now.
Yeah.
Going in at 16 is massive. Going in with your own car
Yeah.
is massive. You're not spending, you know, or you haven't got someone spending loads of money on you
No.
with the best. You're doing it yourself. So then, how long did it take you to get near the top? Because I know your first title went for like 5 years.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
But when you think 5 years is a long time, but when you're 16, it's only 21.
Yeah.
Which is really good. So how
yeah, if you compare it now to some drivers haven't won titles yet, who've raced for a lot of years young.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So obviously,
because you would have been racing with your dad from the get-go.
Yeah.
You've got all your dad's settings to put into your car.
Yes. Yeah, we had all that. We did quite a bit of winning straight away. But stock cars sort of evolved. Just after I started, the small block came along. And the engines went a bit different. The cars started getting a bit more technical. A lot of money started getting involved, and it got a little bit out of my reach engine-wise and stuff to start with because I didn't have the money to spend on a good engine. So obviously we just made do with what we had. There was family stuff going on at the time with my mum and dad, which sort of separated me from my dad a little bit in the early years for quite a while.
Yeah.
So I kind of had to do stuff
so you
myself.
Wasn't here?
I wasn't here yet.
Yeah, you wasn't here.
Yeah. So we were sort of on my own a little bit.
Right.
But we just kept going, and we did a lot of meetings, had a lot of fun, learnt a lot of stuff, and then took it from there. And obviously,
was you doing all the meetings from the get-go?
Yeah, we did.
From the get-go?
Yeah. We went every time. We had a good crew behind us, and we just wanted to race. We just wanted to race and get out there and win races. You know, when you've grown up with it. I mean, when I was at school, I got picked to play football for Yorkshire. I was good at football, but it kind of got in the way of the meetings. And it came a choice where I had to either go down the football route, or carry on going stock cars. And stupidly, I picked stock cars. Don't ask me why. And I did, and it was. I remember the choice, because they said to me, "Look, you know, you could be good at this football. Like, if you want to
go for it.
But
you need to go for it.
You need to go for it and not. So you're going to be not doing the meetings." And I just couldn't do it. I was just like, not a chance. You know what I mean? It's been in my blood every weekend since the day I was born. So it was never even a close choice.
It's almost like someone trying to take it off you, and you're like, hang on a minute.
Yeah, and I was like, no, I've watched this sport all my life, and I know I'm going to be good at it, and I just want to go out there and do it. You know,
see,
I remember you go back to, I'd be 13 or 14. They had mechanics races. Okay, and
what, in the F1s?
Yeah, and I sneaked into my dad's car, and they wouldn't let me go out on track because I was underage, and they wouldn't let me go out. So then they had a ladies' race, and I even tried to sneak out in that to get out onto the track. Yeah, and that was when I was like 14, and then I won. I did get out when I was 15 and won mechanics races straight away. And you know, because when I was racing the Mini, we set a little track up in the field, just out the front there. It was small, but
it was enough.
It was enough. Going back. What year was that? I don't even know what year. When I was 8, for Christmas, I got a stock car with a diesel engine in it.
Right.
Okay. Full-size stock car.
Yeah.
And they set the track up in the field so I could learn to drive a stock car.
So obviously everything was pulled right to
Yeah. It was a car that a bloke in Skipton called Derek Green built, and it was never ever good enough to be a stock car. So my dad ended up with it, and for some reason they put a diesel engine in it for me to drive around in the field. And so that's how I learnt to sort of drive. So I could drive a stock car, I could go sideways, I could do all that when I was 9 years old. And then I just remember when I started my Mini, I couldn't drive the Mini because obviously the Mini's front wheel drive, and I'd been driving a rear wheel drive diesel stock car. And I remember my dad taking the diesel stock car off me and saying, "You can't drive that.
You need to be driving this.
You need to drive your Mini." And I remember being absolutely devastated because I didn't want to drive the Mini. I had no interest in the Mini really. I wanted to be in the stock car, and I can remember crying my eyes out because I wanted to be in the stock car. But then, obviously, to learn to drive the Mini, I get it now. You know what I mean? Because I see when the Mini kids come out and get in the stock cars, it's a different thing. With them being front wheel drive, it's just a different animal to drive. And I remember jumping in Frankie's Mini and doing a dad's race when just in sort of his last year, and the difference to drive, it was just stupid. I wasn't that good in it really. I did all right, but I thought, wow, the difference, you know, in the front to the rear wheel drive is just...
Well, how much horsepower is in a Mini compared to
my diesel stock car? I don't know what my diesel stock car had back then. It was all right. It was all right, good sideways. And like, if my dad come in the field with his to give it a run round, see if it were all right, I'd go round with him, and it wasn't much slower than his, to be fair, on a little track. So yeah, I remember that. So yeah, I don't suppose there is many 9-year-olds get to drive a stock car, but yeah, I did.
I can't imagine
and that's,
many at all.
I mean, that's just thanks to me grandma and granddad really for having the foresight to buy a farm and lucky enough to set us up where we are, to be fair. You know what I mean? There's not many people, you know, premises and things are hard to do this job.
Especially the size of this.
The stuff I've got.
We've walked round here and it's like a maze.
You haven't seen half of it yet. You know what I mean? It's just... And, you know, I've been lucky enough that side of it.
It's here, yeah.
It's here.
And you've got the
space
facilities
for everything, for the wagons, the trailers, the cars. You know, I think I don't know how many Formula Ones there's here. There's over 20. You know what I mean? You could have your own meeting, couldn't you? But, you know what I mean? And that in itself's just like, what? So, yeah,
Madness.
It is madness, yeah.
So you already had the experience there, went into F1, you already had the experience of driving around here.
Yep.
In your diesel.
Yep.
So then obviously you got a final win almost straight away as well.
Yes, yeah. I think it was my third meeting. I won my first race at Aycliffe, and then I was lucky enough to race at the old Bellevue.
Yeah.
The very, very last Bellevue was, I think it was the last meeting of the season maybe, and when I started in '87, and I won the last ever race there, which was £1,000 race.
Nice.
Yeah, and it was good to actually just experience that venue.
Your first meeting there, and you won the last race ever.
Yeah,
nice.
You know, we got going then, and we were winning races. Obviously, I won my first final at Northampton. That'll have been late October. I won Eton final, and then just as I always am, I rolled over in the Grand National trying too hard. Just out what you do with it, you know 100%. What I mean? I remember that. It was just pictures all over the magazine. But yeah, no, we had a really good start, and yeah, it was good.
So back then, was people using two cars in the late 80s?
Yes, they were. Yeah.
So did you have two cars? You
no.
Didn't have two cars
No. We just
had
using
one car on both?
Yeah. God, yeah. Obviously, there wasn't a lot of difference in the two cars
back then.
My dad had two cars, Pete Faulding, John Lund. But it was more of a case of it was ready and everything was good to go, rather than altering stuff. And
because there was a lot of meetings, obviously.
Yes,
then as well.
a lot of meetings.
More than there is now.
Yeah,
so to have two was easier.
I remember sort of in the late 80s, my dad having what we'd class as a good car and then a rough track car, if that makes sense.
Right.
Which, you know, you take to like Crewe and Roch, just stuff like that.
Things that's going to get bad.
More than a tarmac and a shale car, they'd have a good car and a rough track car. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
You don't want to ruin your good fast race car. You might as well take the heavier, more bruised
And then
one.
obviously sort of early 90s, they were getting into proper tarmac cars, you know, with the...
Is that with rule changes then, or...?
No, just...
Because they're very different now, aren't they?
Yeah, and obviously back then... I suppose in the early 90s, they did have a stage where Chris Elwell was building the space frame things and stuff that stood out that was different. So they did want to go a different way.
Yeah.
And back then, they were probably a long way ahead of where they should have been and didn't stand out as fast as they should have been,
right.
If that makes sense. When you look at them now, when you look at the Elwell car now in Heritage... Knowing what we know now, that thing should have just won absolutely everything back then against what we were using, if that makes sense. And sort of stuff then just started evolving from there, really. Yeah.
From the early 90s.
Yeah.
And obviously you was part of it.
Yeah.
Evolving, because in 92, 93, you got your first championship.
Yeah, 92 at
British.
Coventry, yeah. Yeah, it was...
Talk us through that then, your first championship. Because then you'd been in there for 5 years, made your way to the top.
Yeah.
And then finally grabbing the first championship.
Yeah, it was a good night. It was absolutely superb. I remember we had a sponsor who wanted my engine to run a bit better, so we took the decision to put it on the dyno. Mm-hmm. We took it to EDA at Castleford that week and put it on the dyno. This was all new to me. It was all alien to me.
Never done that before.
No,
right.
And we put this engine on the dyno, and when we finished with it on the dyno, we gained 120 brake horse, which is stupid. It just wasn't running right.
You didn't know?
You don't know. You don't kind of realise. You do nowadays, but obviously back then, if it ran on 8 cylinders, you were good to go. You know what I mean? But there was just stuff, and they did on the dyno, and they got it running absolutely mint. And I went to Coventry with it, and I set off in it. I was like, wow. What the hell? Where did this come from? Yeah,
massive.
You know, the engine will probably been 500 brake horsepower, so like it was down at 400. Do you know what I mean? And it just like wow, and the whole night it was just meant to be. It was just one of them nights where
everything went right.
Yeah.
Was it still qualifying back then? As it is now
exactly
with
the same.
Yeah,
exactly the same. I started fairly well down the grid. To be fair, I was I don't know 5th or 6th row or something. But yeah, I had a really good race with John Lund, Bobby Burns, Dave Beresford, and yeah, I took the win, and it was good because it got it off my back the first one, major, and yeah, I've never ever looked back since. It was
at
just,
the age of 21.
Yeah, it was just a bit mental, to be fair, and to do it at Coventry, you know, it was
everyone loves Coventry.
Everybody loved Coventry. always a crowd at Coventry. It was a community track. People just went there for
Stadium as well.
social, just to meet people and meet up with people, and the atmosphere there was always good. And yeah, it was a superb night. It was, yeah.
Nice. So then, obviously, after that, what was the next one after that?
I know you're supposed to do all the research.
Well, I have.
Go on then.
Is it European?
Right there.
It's European after.
Right.
But I just, because there's been so many, the success then from that, did that then lead on for the others to be a bit easier? Now it's off your back.
Not really, 'cause we just used to work out. I've probably been my own worst enemy in my career for wanting to do all the meetings.
Yeah.
And I probably shouldn't have done.
It was sort of affecting your performance.
Absolutely. It's when you get to a championship, you don't have the money to spend on tyres. You don't have,
and your car's a lot more worn out than some of the others.
Absolutely. But I wanted to race. You know, I just wanted to race every meeting. I just wanted to do the meetings, win the races, and you know, obviously, I'm never going to beat Stuart Smith in the final wins because obviously they used to race a lot more back then. But you know, I'm second in that, and probably will. Probably stop second unless Tom carries on doing what he's doing.
He's going to catch you.
But you know, that side of it for me stands above everything else. You know, and obviously I had a good fan base of people who wanted to watch me race, whether they want to see me crash or win, whichever. I'm not bothered. But you know, and it was good, and I just enjoyed doing it. I remember wanting to do every meeting and put a show on.
So when you come into it, you obviously had Lundy was the man.
Yep.
Did you think you was going to take it off of him, or did you know straight? Like, I know you obviously you've gone in there going to win. I'm going to go win.
You had to.
I'm going to come and take it off you.
You had to
because he was the man.
Yeah, I mean,
and then it was obviously you and Lundy for a little while.
Yeah, I mean, I remember the first time I went raced in New Zealand. Not the first time, the second time. The first time I just dropped lucky. I was on my honeymoon over there. And Chris Elwell got vertigo at last minute, and his dad chucked me in the car, and I did all right. And I thought, yeah, I like this. And then the first year I went over to race proper. I remember racing at Palmerston. I think it was a Grand Prix, and Sonia Hickey and Stan Hickey had got me a car sorted. And I remember getting there, and Sonia said to me, she gave me a list of 5 drivers. She said, don't mess about with these because they're like the top drivers. So I took all 5 of them out in first race. I got all of them. And I come back in pits, and she looked at me, she went,
"You're an idiot."
I said, well, if they're the top drivers, they're the ones I've got to take it to. And I remember John Lund turning up a couple of weeks later, said about him, and he was at the top of his game then. He was, you know what I mean? And I was chatting to him at Scrutineer, and he said, he said, just, you know, I've been over here quite a bit. Obviously, I've heard you took it to him a bit at Palmy. He said, you want to be careful doing that. I said, you'll probably struggle to win stuff over here doing that. And I looked at him, and I'm like, I kind of think the opposite. Do you know what I mean? And that's my first 240 was that year. So, I do
you won it in your first year?
The first competitive year I went over, 98, 99. Yeah, I might not be my first year. I don't know what year it was. Was there
it was one of them.
95. Yeah, it was 97, 98. It was the first year we went back over, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we went over on my honeymoon, and then we missed a year, and then it was a year after.
And John Lund said to you, you want to be careful, you're taking it to him. And you're like, well, and I'm going to do it.
Obviously, I'd seen the racing, I'd watched it, and I watch how they race. And if you get on the front foot, give it to them. Some of the others, back then, and I know, because obviously I've spent that many years over there now, some of the others looked at me and went, I'm not messing with him. And they didn't. And so it worked, but you don't know that.
No, but you just...
It was a chance I took. And
so it went from 5 of them to now only being like 3 of them or 2 of them.
Yeah. And some of the others backed off a bit because they were like, maybe not.
Yeah.
So, there is other ways of looking at things in racing. And obviously, I've absolutely loved everything I've done in New Zealand. I've been there that many times. And I've won the 240s 3 times, which nobody's ever done.
No.
And, nobody from England. And I've loved every part of it, and I've done that my own way.
When I hear that story, it's absolutely crazy because you got 3 world titles over here.
Yeah.
And then to go over to New Zealand.
Yeah.
and do it over there
Yeah.
is just crazy.
Yeah.
When you think about it.
See that
is mental.
when people go on about the World Championships, that is more to me than the World Championship in England, if that makes sense. Obviously, I should have won more World Championships in England. I know I should. You know, I've been unlucky in a lot of them, not being right in a lot of them.
Stock car racing.
I've won 3 World Championships in New Zealand, 3 in the UK, and I've won 4 in Holland. You know, that's a lot of World Championships.
That is a lot.
And no other driver's ever won 3 the 3 titles. Nobody's ever done that. Mm-hmm. I'm the only person that's ever done that, and that I'm proud of that.
Yeah,
I am proud of that. You know, especially the 98 in Barlow, the last ever long track. That we worked really hard that year for that.
We'll get on to that. We're going to we'll talk all about Holland because that's in itself. You say with 4 world titles. So leading into the 90s, obviously you doing every single meeting meant that them national points titles come. Yeah. Obviously you've won more than any other driver. Yeah. That is mad in itself, and then obviously they've changed it later on to stop you from winning any more.
Did they?
That's all I can think of.
Okay.
I mean, they've changed it again, obviously, since Tom won a load of times, and it's been changed again to try and obviously give other people. Yeah. But yeah, obviously, you was doing every meeting, so your car wasn't actually at its best for all the championships. No. But you was doing every one, that's what you wanted to do, and the point showed it. Yeah. Did you ever think that you should have slowed it down a bit to win a few more, maybe?
No, because I just enjoyed racing. I just wanted to race. You know, back then I was building a lot of cars and looking after people at meetings, setting people up at meetings.
When did that start, though? Because obviously, if you're building your first car at 16 and then you're winning your first title at 21, when did this
mid-90s
become a business?
I started building cars. I built Warren Hunter one. That'll be mid-90s. Was
that your first customer?
Yeah, I think he was. There was a few, and as soon as I started building them in the 90s, then it just took off and went fairly mental.
Was you like the main car builder back then?
Back then.
This is way before. I wouldn't know anything about this. Yeah. But you was the main car builder then?
I remember sitting on track at Northampton and looking around the field, and like some races, like there was 20 cars and 16, 18 of them were all my cars. And I'm sat there thinking, but the problem was the cars I were building have always been as good as mine. Some of them better because they have better engines in. You know, and I'm sat there thinking, I've got to catch that. Do you know what I mean?
I've just built it.
You know,
I've seen the engine he's put in it, and I've got to catch it.
I've put it in, and it's same with Rob Speake. Rob Speake had a car. He won the European in it. Again, his first meeting maybe, and Paul Harris and people like that, and that has meant a lot to me in my career as well, that other people winning championships in my cars. Yeah. You know, Paul.
It's a little bit for you inside. You're like,
absolutely.
Bosh, that's a win.
I mean, it pissed me off at the time because I think Paul Harris won European, I got second to him. Do you know what I mean? And I'm like, I've lost the championship, but my customer has just done it in one of my cars. Yeah.
Which afterwards he's going to come home and say, cheers, Frank.
And he did. And you know what I mean? And that, did that outweigh me not winning it? It's hard to say. It is, but it's a different kind of achievement. Yeah. If that makes sense.
Well, it's more business. Your personal racing is your racing, and then you've got your business. That's an achievement for your business.
And for them to win a championship, like when Paul won the world final in my car, you know what I mean? It's a proudness that you can't buy. I can't affect it. He had to drive it. Mm-hmm. And
you done your best, he done his best, and you both won.
There you go. And that you know, that is a different thing. Frustrating when I'm finishing behind him, I get that. But I remember following Paul and I couldn't catch him, and I was like, the same with Rob Speake. Oh, God, but at least one of my cars has won. And I'm like, yeah. And you kind of accept the fact you haven't won, but you have won in that way.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. And then, how many cars have you built?
Oh, go on. That.
How many cars have you built?
Idea.
You don't know?
Wouldn't have a clue. I would not have a clue. Maybe well over 100. I don't know. You just, I mean, you see them now, they come and go now. And my brother Danny, he remembers a lot more than I do. Any car that I don't know the history of, I'll just text him and be like, you built it then, he had it, he's got it now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's like the oracle. Yeah, he's just
he knows it all.
absolutely anything I need to know about any of the age of cars, when they were, who had them. Danny's your man. Yeah, he's got it all on tap.
Nice.
So yeah.
So in your all your years going up from when you started to now, what's it always been like in the garage? Is it every single day?
Yeah, it has to be. It had to be because
back then and even now it's still the same.
Yeah, still the same. It has to be because it's the time that you don't have the money to do it. You just have the time.
Yeah.
So the time makes up for the money. So whatever you make, whatever you can make, you don't have to buy.
Yeah.
You know, that was instilled in me from when I was really early. And obviously that's just the same as how we are now, you know what I mean? We just make what we can and
make everything
and
you can in here.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you've built up enough tools and machinery to be able to do it all.
Yeah, I have a workshop. A good friend of mine has a workshop in Keighley that I do all my cutting and folding on the big stuff.
Nice.
And, you know, I've been going there for donkey's years and we have a good relationship and he looks after me and, you know, in that way. So I didn't need the big guillotines, the big benders, because that's a garage in itself.
Yeah.
You know, you've got to remember some weeks we're getting 5 and 6 cars ready in here to race.
Are you still doing that now?
Yeah. Obviously, we've got the experienced day cars now.
Yeah.
You know, we're going to end up with 5 of them. And then when we were all racing, Carl's got about 60 cars here or 70. I don't know how many he's got. They're everywhere out yard. Obviously, Frankie's when Phoebe was racing. So yeah, we do. You know, we have customer cars. Pete Morton has his car. He keeps that here. So you know, some meetings we're taking 5 and 6 cars to meetings. So
wow.
Still,
and
now.
It's been like that since the mid-90s.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember doing world finals and taking like 5, 6, 7 cars and that's probably why I didn't win it. You know what I mean? Because I had 3.
You spent 2 days loading them out.
Foreign cars, yeah, and all the wheels and tyres.
Oh, mate.
Yeah, you know, people said to me, you know, you're getting cars ready, but every car needs wheels and tyres. That's a job in itself, and it is. It just, you know, I spent that many hours on that tyre machine.
I was going to say, everyone I've spoke to in F1s has said it's just for one car. It's an evening.
Yeah, yeah. So then
prepping wheels and tyres for one car, and you've got 7.
Yeah. So how many evenings is that? That's your week. You don't have that many time. Do you see what I mean? And people don't see this. You know what I mean? I'm in there on that tyre machine at midnight some nights doing experienced day tyres.
Yeah.
No problem with that. It's a job. It's what I do. You know what I mean?
It's what pays for your racing.
Exactly. And you just do it. And you just, yeah.
So when you think about, obviously you've got a lot of majors anyway, other than the national points, but the way you've done it has sort of definitely hindered you.
Yes.
So you've done it by, you love stock cars, you build them, you repair them, you maintain them for other cars, but really, in hindsight, that has affected you winning more.
Yeah.
Because
absolutely,
you spending all that time getting 5 cars ready, one team is spending that time getting 1 car ready. Yeah, that's...
Yeah. And then obviously the same when the kids started. So obviously it's just when Frankie started.
We'll move on to that then. So we had loads of success in the 90s, the 2000s. That was all Frankie Wainman really. He took it over from John Lund. Yeah. And then you had the next young guns come up in the 2010 to recent really.
Yes.
Whereas and obviously Andy Smith come up.
Yep.
Rob Speak.
Yeah.
Let's talk a bit about him. Who's she?
Never heard of him.
Let's talk about a bit of that then, because we've got John Lund, which you then inevitably took over from.
Yeah.
And then was it Rob Speak before Andy Smith come through?
They were very similar times, I think.
Yeah. Because they
Andy was earlier. Andy was earlier than Rob. Yeah, he was.
Peter Foulding as well.
Yeah. Peter's always been there. Because obviously,
from what I've looked at the history of it, if it weren't for Lundy and you, Foulding would have won everything.
Yeah, possibly, yeah.
Because he was always, if you look at it, he was always second or third to you and Lundy.
Yeah. I've been second quite a bit on World Final. Right? Yeah. I know how that feels.
Exactly. It just looks like if it weren't for you two,
Pete had a good career.
If it weren't for you two, it would have been his name.
Yes, yeah, definitely, yeah. Back then it would, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and obviously did Andy start 93? Yeah, he won first World Final in 94. So Andy started in 93. So he was before Rob.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rob didn't start till 2000.
Because he was doing 2s, wasn't he?
Yes.
So then he done his first one.
Mental in 2s. He was the man in 2s.
What was he, like 7-time on the trot world champion or something?
Ridiculous.
Wow.
And I remember he raced one of my cars. Oh, I got banned. And I remember being at Aycliffe. Yeah, I got banned a couple of times. I used to be a bit hot-headed. Should be like that now, really. And we're at Aycliffe, and he jumped in my car and raced my car. I don't know what year that'd be. I'm going to say probably 89, maybe 90. And Rob did a couple of meetings. I'm sure he did in mine back then.
Yeah.
And then he had to go in my little black car, Black Magic. And he just said it was the best handling car he'd ever driven.
Right.
With the shittest engine.
Yeah.
That's what he said to me. He said, how the hell do you win everything in that? He said, it's got no go. But it didn't. The car was that good, and the engine wasn't. I'd never had good engines, and it made up for the fact that the car was that good. It handled that well.
Yeah.
You know, it made everything else all right. So, yeah.
When Andy come in then, did you know he was going to be a threat to you?
Yeah, he was steady to start with because he just had one car, big block.
By that time, you was already...
Yes.
So if he started in 93, you was already British champ.
Yeah. And then, obviously, my first ever disaster of a world final, which was 94, was the first one he won. And obviously, he kind of took it off me with 2 laps to go and my engine blew up. And
the old smoker.
Yeah, and that was...
That would have been your first
That
one,
was when I had to sit back and assess how that affects you mentally. You talk about that now, I suppose, mental health and all that.
Yeah.
But back then, I sat there and I was...
So explain for anyone who didn't listen to the Andy Smith podcast, because he explained
so 94 World Final.
You just won the British year before.
Yeah, I got into the lead.
22 years old.
And I'd won the race. The car was just on rails. It was the fastest car on the track. But unbeknown to me, on lap 3, if you watch it on the video, you can see some steam coming out, and the fan blade had sheared off and chopped through the bottom hose. So obviously the water was leaking out, and with 2 laps to go, it just expired. Obviously, I kept going back then because obviously it was a world final. I was winning it.
You see the steam getting worse and worse.
You couldn't see the steam because obviously at the start the track was damp, so there was a bit of water about. So I didn't know. Obviously it started dying, and but by then you sort of 5 or 6 laps to go. You think, could it make it? And it didn't. And so I was winning. I think I got I definitely got the 3 lap board. I might have got the 2. I'm not sure. And it just died, and I pulled on the infield. And at that point, I remember sitting there, and you can't explain that. It was just, it did me in. It was like it mentally just did me in. And I remember saying to myself, points. It's the only thing we've got left this year is the points. And that's kind of when the points became more important to me than the world final, if that makes sense. I don't know if it should have done, but it did. And
well, that's knocked you mentally to go, it's not about that one race.
Yeah. And it did. I fell out of love with it completely, the World Championship. It was like, do you know what? If something like that can hurt you so much, do I really want to do that again? And it did. It knocked me for 6. It really did. It took it out of me, and it took me quite a while to get over it, really, because it was just, it pissed me off. It was one of them. Having done everything
in your power,
built the car, everything was right, everything was done. The car was just on rails. It was just so fast. I was
done what you need to do in the semi-final.
I was half a lap in front of Andy Smith. Do you know what I mean? It was done. And then
stock car gods were in your favour.
And it just died. And I remember it was the worst feeling I've ever had in my life. It was just unbelievable. And then obviously we went on, and obviously I bounced back by the week after, and we went on to win the points that year. And that's probably what has defined the fact that the world finals haven't meant as much to me as some drivers put on the world final. It was probably that one race that
very early
took
on.
that away from me. Yeah.
That is horrible, isn't it? There's nothing else you could have done.
No, nothing. You've done it. You know what I mean? And it was just, one of them. So, you know, it was, yeah. And Andy won that one.
Yeah.
And then obviously, you know, we've raced.
And then you two. Because every single, it seemed like in the 2000s, it looked like every front row was you and Andy.
Yeah, me and Andy, usually me and Andy.
You and Andy, every front row, and
Yeah.
you're like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
They're going to go head to head again,
Yeah.
head to head again.
Yeah.
And
You see that in itself cost me a lot of world finals. The rivalries, you know, we've took each other out of world finals, but it's always me and somebody else. It's never, and it still is.
Yeah.
You know, it's come right through. Me, Dan Johnson, me, Tom Harris, me. You know what I mean? Pick a driver, me, Rob Speake, me and Andy Smith, me and Stuart Smith. But it's never two others and leave me here.
Yeah, and
I'm
you come
fine.
through.
I'll be all right. You two take each other out and I'll win it. It was never that. You know,
It was always you with someone else.
Yeah, but yeah,
That's what happens when you're at the top.
and it's still
rank.
the same now. But I take that as a big compliment. I do take that as a big compliment.
Of course.
Even now, you know, that drivers have to take me out and want to take me out. It means you're still doing something right, or
course.
annoying somebody in the right way. So yeah,
Nice. So that's your rivalry with Andy Smith.
yes,
And obviously that led on from the 93, 94 World Final
Yeah.
all the way up until he finished.
yes,
And then
Yeah.
Rob Speake come along.
yeah,
We don't know who he is,
No,
obviously.
no.
He come along 2000, 2001.
yeah. I think in 2000 Rob started. Yeah, and again, Rob had the very similar mental attitude to me.
Yeah.
Come in,
Definitely. He's the
you
top
win
boy.
it. Yeah,
I'm having you.
yeah, and that's how you've got to do it. And
Because obviously Andy, you was the top. You and Andy both obviously
Yeah.
top boys, but you was the main one. So
Yeah.
therefore Rob decided
Yeah.
to have a go at you, not
Yeah,
Andy.
listen, if you want to be successful at something in your life, that's how I look at it. And Rob was exactly the same.
Yeah.
And you know, some of the races me and him have had are
Brilliant.
just
I've seen
mental.
some.
What makes it really good now is obviously we do the experience there at Skegness, so me and Rob spend a lot of time together through
Which
the
Rob
season.
owns now.
Yeah, and when people come to do the experience days, they see me and Rob together, but they've only ever seen me and Rob
Smashing each
each other to bits, and they're like, "What, you speak to each other?" And it's like we just have such a good laugh, and we really do, and it's part of it now. And Rob absolutely loves it, and I love doing it. But when you think back to what we were back then, yeah.
Was you talking in the pits when you was at your height?
Yeah,
It was literally just on
yeah,
track.
there was a couple of nights it got
Bit heated.
a little bit heated. Not with me and Rob, just with
The females.
with
No?
sponsors
Ah.
and stuff. Really, you know, it was always instilled in me when I started racing stock cars. If you're a top driver, you have respect for other drivers. It's the one thing you've got. You behave yourself. You don't do stupid stuff.
Yeah.
And
Everyone's looking up to you.
Yes.
Don't be a fool.
you know, unfortunately now that's slipped away a little bit these days. Some of the drivers now are just, but that's a different subject. But back then, it was kind of. I remember just one thing on a separate. I remember one race at Bellevue when I first started, and me and Mel Morris were on the front row, number 444, and we jumped the start. So they didn't let this start go. And I remember back then, and we pulled back up the line, and Brian
This is when you first started White Roof?
Yeah, when I was a white top. Brian Beat jumped off the start, rostrum, and he came over, and he whacked me with a flag in the cab. He stabbed me with a flag. And he looked at me, he went, "I start the race, not you." And I thought, okay, fair enough. And from that day, you had respect for the startmen. Mm-hmm. They might as well not have startmen now. You know what I mean? Drivers start the race, they always do.
Yeah.
But back then, and I sat there.
He wanted his authority, yeah.
Yeah, and I thought, but looking back, yeah, that you know, your officials should be feared. Your officials should have charge. You know what I mean? But back then I was like, oh God.
Did he really just do that?
Yeah. And he whacked me and he whacked Mel Morris, and I remember, and I'm like, next so we didn't jump next start, trust me. But it worked, it was right. And it was right, you know, he's the star, he's the official, start the race. And I just remember that, and I'm like, God, yeah.
And you sort of take that the whole time now.
Absolutely,
the
right through, and
the
obviously,
top drivers,
you know,
needed, even though you and Rob are smashing each other up,
Yeah.
in the pitch you need to stay calm.
Absolutely.
Obviously. Stay cool.
100%.
That's a stock car race.
Nothing.
We're not
all
going to
on
be
track.
stupid because everyone's looking at us.
Yeah, and
it's good.
It's how it was so good. You know, some of the stuff and the hits and then the stuff we did, but it's just what you did and the rivalry and the people, the spectators, and it's what kept the job alive. Mm-hmm. You know, it kept the job alive.
The rivalry is always going to be what stock cars is all about.
Absolutely, and it's what people want to see.
It's the narrative that everyone wants to see.
Yeah,
as well as the win.
Some weeks Rob won, some weeks I won, and that's how it swings. Andy, it's the same thing. Mm-hmm. You know, and that's. I've enjoyed that. You know, if in my eyes, if you go to a stock car meeting just wanting to go out and have a drive around the track, that's not me.
No.
You know, I want to go and either be smashed up or win a race, and that's how I've always been. You
that's
know,
how it should be.
Yeah,
stock car.
you know, I want to be talked about. You know, the world finals I've done, even you know, couple of years ago with Tom at Skegness. You know what I
Brilliant.
mean? And that
last bender,
even though I didn't win it, could I say it's the best second place I've ever had? No, probably not, because I've had quite a few, but
the thing is,
to be part of it, to be the main part of the race at my stage in my career,
against Tom, who's
in his
form.
is in his prime, made me very proud. Even though I didn't win, it made me think, yeah, I'm still all right at this job. I
think
there.
You got the respect. You've obviously got a lot of respect anyway, but everyone give you that bit more respect at your age now for you to go for that last bend as well.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Everyone's like, fair play.
Yeah, and the whole race.
Not a lot of people would have done it.
No, and it just... Can you enjoy getting second? I can't. I don't know.
You nearly had it.
If I say I enjoyed getting second, because I caught him. Nothing happened to him. I caught him.
Yeah.
You know, I did him on the first start.
What year is this? We're talking about the 2024?
24, 20, I don't know what year it was.
The recent Skegness one, anyway, for anyone who's not sure what we're talking about.
You know, to catch him and be able to go for a last bender, you know, and it just, I remember Joe Booth saying to me after, because it was Joe that saved him, and Joe said he looked in his mirror coming out the corner and he could only see Tom.
Coming out of turns two.
Yeah. And he said, we're all right, no problem. He said, and then right at the end of the straight, he caught a glimpse of another set of flashing lights. And I remember Joe saying to me, oh shit, hang on. And that's when I got Tom. Tom was into Joe, and that's what saved him. You know, Joe took the brunt of it, unfortunately. But, you know, had he not been there, I might have won it.
If buts and maybes.
If buts and maybes. But it was the fact of the race and to be involved in a last bender in a world final. I know that'd probably be one of Tom's best wins because it was a last bender.
Yeah, he didn't just drive away.
He didn't drive away and win
to
it.
The last corner.
And he'll say, yeah, I'm pretty sure he'd agree with that. And for me to be part of that, you know, I enjoyed that. I did enjoy it.
Good.
Yeah.
What other major titles then? Let's go out the 3 world titles. What was the best one and why? Don't tell me you can't remember.
No, I can remember all. But obviously, the time at one at Northampton 2005 was good. Obviously, just drove straight into the wall on the first corner because,
as you do,
Andy was going to put me in. So if you put yourself in, they're going harder. The car was built for it. Obviously, back then I was probably at the top of the game on car setup and getting cars right at different times. Obviously, we'd set the car up. We raced there the week before on the Saturday night, and I set my car up on the Saturday night in the heat for the world final. Obviously, I watched them practice all day. I watched Andy Smith practice all day.
And you just left it?
And I left mine. I went out to make sure everything was right.
That's how you know you got it. When you go and do 10 laps
alter nothing.
and leave it.
It was a little bit loose. Didn't alter it because I had the confidence that I knew, because obviously track temperature changed, everything altered. And I watched them all dial the cars in all day when it was nice and sunny. And then as soon as we set off, everybody's car pushed like shit, and mine didn't. And I knew I had to survive the first corner.
Yeah.
So I just drove myself in the wall, come out the wall, looked in the mirror, nothing, just massive gap. And my job was done. And I just went and drove the race, and the car was just on rails. And then, obviously, 2016 at Coventry. Mm-hmm. That was a good one. I enjoyed that one.
It's always going to be there, isn't it?
You know, I kind of had the confidence to let Dan get away because I knew I'd
reel him back in.
And I just about reeled him back in and just started putting him under pressure, and he climbed into a Dutch car and flattened his tyre. So it made my job a bit easier, so I just went on to win it. But no, I enjoyed winning that one because that was, you know, my purple shale car, the first rear weight shale car I built, really.
Yeah.
Which, you know, I won Eaton final first time out in it, first time I sat in it. So it was always going to be a good car, so, you know.
So that, and the first one? The first world final?
First world final. Jesus, that's going back a long time now. Yeah, that's, again, you look back and I had 2 shale cars back then. A little bit like a rough shale car and a new one that I built.
Right. So that post-war, you'd take the rough one?
I raced the tarmac car.
Oh.
Yeah. My brother-in-law was in my new shale car, and we had Stanicky, the New Zealander, in my shale car. So I raced my tarmac car. I had no form around Coventry at all. I couldn't get to grips with the track at all back then.
So you wasn't really bothered back then?
No, I was, but
if you just go in a tarmac car?
I knew I didn't have the speed in my shale car.
Mm.
So I said, well, I'll race the tarmac car because I was the only one who could have fit in it. And then we could have used the others for Shane. Shane ran me new shale car, and Stan ran me the old down bar car. And I jumped in the shale car, put a shale wing on it, and away we went. And as soon as it dried out, it just hooked up and was just so fast. And it was just, yeah, okay. So it was kind of one of them where I went into it not expecting to win it.
Yeah.
I knew I could probably get a top 3 in it, but, you know, I won't.
Them ones seem to be the better ones, almost.
Yeah, maybe.
I've had the same thing going in, I'm definitely not going to win this.
Yeah.
And you do something in it.
Yeah.
And you end up winning it. You think, how have I done that?
Yeah. Yeah.
But obviously you've done it in an F1 at World Final.
Yeah.
So, yeah, well, you didn't expect that one then.
No.
That one come along, the first one.
Yeah. Got it out. It's after 94.
You wasn't
bothered. 97, the year before, Odsel, I was winning that. Again, 5 laps to go. Clear of John Lund, faster than John Lund. And a Dutchman hit a beam on the infield and bounced out in front of me, and I hit him and momentarily stopped, bent my left front shocker. Lundy caught me, and he beat me, and I got second again. So another one. And so you kind of go into these races now, and I'm just like, yeah, it's just a race.
It is what it is.
Yeah. So 98, when I won it, it was kind of like, oh,
okay,
we've won it. Yeah, it was that, and yeah.
But I think the moment had been taken away from you then, for what it sounds like now. The moment had always been taken away from you. You're not.
Yes.
You wasn't bothered.
No, he had.
I know.
He knocked it clean out of me, you know, and it was a big part of my career that sort of just.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Any other championship races that stand out then? You must have fucking loads. But there's got to be a couple where you really think, even if you didn't win.
The long track.
The long track.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get on to that then. Let's move into Holland.
Okay.
So when was the first time you went over there? Because you were obviously a massive name over in Holland.
I went over my first season.
In your white car?
In my white car. I just got to Blue Top, and I went over...
Oh, you're mad, mate.
Christmas.
Mad.
Christmas. We did Boxing Day, I think. We raced over there at Barlow, but on the short track.
Right.
Yeah, and
that's
then
just half.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I was already over there racing
straight away at 16. Yeah,
and then that would have been late '87, and then I think it was '88. we did go over to the long track. I didn't even have an engine. We went over with a car with no engine. We borrowed an engine over there. And we got over there the day before. After blowing the bus up on the way there, we swapped a cylinder head on the bus at the side of the M25 to get there. And we got there, chucked this engine in my car off Coos Peters, number 73, and borrowed the engine. And I remember in the long track itself, I rolled over and carried on. And because there's such long laps at the long track, obviously first time I'd ever raced at the long track, it would be 25 seconds a lap maybe.
Considering we normally do about 15, 16.
So I rolled over, back on my wheels and set back off again. And
no wave jello back then?
I'll finish, yeah, back then. I thought I'll finish the race. Anyway, I got 8th place. I still got 8th. And I'd kind of let a couple of cars past at the end because I thought I was a lap down because I'd rolled over, if that makes sense. But yeah. I wasn't. And I ended up 8th. I think that was maybe Pete's first win. Pete Folding's first long track, maybe, that year. So, yeah, that was... So I was always... It got me interested in the long track, but I never had the engine for it.
What were they doing different with them engines in?
Oh, the track was just that long on the straights. If everybody asks me now what it'd be like around the long track now, and I just think it'd be that dangerous because the corners were really tight compared to the length of the straights.
Yeah, 100%.
You cannot, if you've never been to the long track, you cannot comprehend how long the straights are there. And I remember turning up to the first ever time I went there, and you used to drive down the side of
on the right hand side?
Yeah, under the trees.
I've done that, yeah.
Down the straight. And I set off down it in the bus to get to the pits, and I'm like, what?
Is that still the track?
Is that still the track? And it was. And it was like, wow. And to have an engine pull out of them corners to do the full length of the straight was just ridiculous.
Yeah. Were you changing gear?
I tried changing gear in 93. We went with Tim Mann in 93 with my tarmac car, proper tarmac car, and I had it set up to change gear. Because obviously the small blocks we were running back then were only like 500 horsepower, and they didn't have the length to pull that straight. You were either revving the nuts off it or it wouldn't come off the corner.
Or it bogs, yeah.
And I set it up to change gear, and it didn't work. The release bearing didn't handle it.
So none of them lot were doing this?
No.
This is something you went over and tried?
I mean, bear in mind, back then they were all running engines of like nearly 1,000 brake horsepower, some of them, just ridiculous stuff. But they didn't have that good of cars. So like obviously when Pete went over with it, he had a really good small block in the end, and he was up on his cars, so he was fast. That's how he won back in 88. So we kind of took part a few times, and then I ended up racing Mick Ogden's car, maybe 97, which was built for over there. It was a car Andy Smith built for over there, and that had one of their engines in. And the combination wasn't right. I didn't get on with it. And then for 98...
So was you going there each year since?
Yeah, we did, but not really competitive enough. I wasn't...
Still figuring it out, Frank?
Yeah. And then 98, we made the decision. I had a really good big block in my shale car, a 540, which was sponsored to me by Tony Cole. And it had a lot of low down grunt, a real good pull range, and we sort of made the decision that we were going to put that in my tarmac car and try it at the long track meetings. So there was probably, I think there was 4 meetings before the long track.
Right. And was they qualifying meetings?
No, not qualifying, just meetings.
Just meetings.
I didn't need to qualify because obviously I did it in time trials, or I did it on my points back then.
Yeah.
So we made the conscious decision that we'd go over and race.
Bit of practice.
To get a bit of practice. Yeah. So, and bear in mind this is engine out of shale car, engine out of tarmac car, big block into tarmac car, weight, altering stuff, getting the car right. And we went over, and it had a lot of potential. It was good, it was fast, it felt right. And the meeting before the long track, I went over and we had it virtually dialed in. And I remember in the final, it starved it of oil because obviously it's a long straight and it didn't have the volume of oil it needed. And it starved the crank and it knocked the big end out. And I remember Ron Crunder coming over to me, who was one of the top men then. And because I've been over every meeting and raced with them, you know what I mean, and they made some effort, and he came over to me, he said, "What's it done?" I said, "Oh, it's not bottom end out of it." He said, "Well, if you don't get an engine sorted," he said, "you can borrow one of mine for the long track."
Which was the meeting after there.
Which was the meeting after that. And I thought, wow, to potentially beat him. And I thought, what a thing to offer. Do you know what I mean?
To your biggest rival.
If almost. I can't fix my engine, he'd give me one, and probably his engine had been miles better than mine. I thought, wow, I should probably take that up anyway and just use his engine. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, we got back and fixed it.
So in between them, you was then going back to England,
swapping them back,
right, okay.
Back in the shale car, tarmac car, back in. It was a lot of work, but
you was committed.
It was something I'd set in my head, the back of my head. I wanted to win it. I just wanted. I'll have a good go at winning it. Give myself a chance of winning it. More the point. So we got back, got the engine out, got it stripped. Yeah, we could fix it. Got it all fixed up, and then obviously set to get it ready for the long track. Went over. Funny story. We set off. Because we did Dover Calais back then.
All the way down to Dover.
Yeah, from here it's like 6 hours. Then Calais over to Holland. The gearbox blew up on the bus, just coming out of Calais, and I was like, "Oh, Jesus,
could do without this.
Could really do without this." So, a couple of phone calls. Was lucky enough to get a recovery truck of one of the teams that raced, was sponsored by this recovery truck.
Yeah.
And he came and dragged us to where we were stopping in Venlo. And it was like, "Look, we'll take you to the track. What can we do?" And I was like, and I managed to source a gearbox in England. And I just needed to get it to Holland, which it's a bus gearbox, so it's not just like a...
It's massive.
Yeah, you're not just going to pick it up.
Put it in the boot of your car.
So I'm like racking my brains for anybody I could think. And I rang Ian Higgins, who my engine, the big block that I had in, we bought off Ian Higgins, and he was a good friend. He always has been. And I thought I'll just try Ian because he was always interested in the long track, and he always took part in it quite a lot. He'd race that engine at the long track, and I knew he had a lot of interest in me doing the long track.
Yeah.
And I just chanced my arm and I rang him. It was on the Friday. And I said, what are you doing at the weekend?
Glad to see a trip.
And he's like, "Why?" "I need a gearbox." He said, "What? Nobody's got a gearbox?" I said, "No, for my bus." He went, "Oh, you need a gearbox for your bus?" I said, "Yeah." He went, "Right, where is it?" I said, "Wayne Handley's got it at Leicester. I'll get back to you." Rung me back. "Yeah, I'll be there." So we went to sleep on the Friday night, and we woke up Saturday morning. He was there in a van with a gearbox.
What a bloke!
So we dragged the bus to the track, so we could get unloaded.
Yep,
and then
get the cars ready.
So obviously the lads were getting all that ready. I was dropping the gearbox out of the bus under the bus. Got all that out. Went out and did practice. The car was good. Just had the engine rebuilt, obviously, and it felt to have some good grunt about it. So
better.
Now the last minute, me and Norm, we decided to drop it a gear set to use the torque of the engine more, so it was revving even less, which was probably not the wrong thing to do, but you wouldn't think to do that. But a big block works on its torque. And we dropped the gears down even more, down to a 4.7 we ended up running, which was really low compared to what everybody else was running. And the thing was just unbelievable. It was just one of them days that it was just so fast. The car just handled, and it was a race I'll just remember all my life. It was just one of them races. You know, I beat Ron Crunder on track, and he was the man. I didn't smash him up. I didn't put him in the fence.
It was a race.
I raced him, and I beat him. Which for me back then, to win a lot of championships, I'd smash people up, I'd take them out, I'd damage them, whatever I needed to do. But I beat him, and I always remember being very proud of that. And
well, you set that goal out, and you accomplished it. That's the main thing.
And that was it. It was the last ever long track. You know, I've got the trophy upstairs in the office, and it sort of, it was one of them that it was the right ending for what we'd done. But I just remember coming back into pits after, and the tow truck team were there with the big recovery vehicle. I had pictures taken in front of it with the car and the trophy and stuff like that. No, and because they were sponsoring the meeting, and it just all...
Everything, fell into place.
The whole thing fell into place for some... You know, everything aligned, and it was just there.
Didn't matter your gearbox and bits.
I remember coming back into pits, and in the long track world champion, and then I had to go under the bus and fit a freaking gearbox, and I was like...
Everyone else is out celebrating.
Sometimes you just, you know what I mean? But it's just what...
That's part of it.
It's part of it. But yeah, it was probably one of my proudest things I've done, that and the world long... World 240s, because they're so different to what I do or what we do. Yeah. And
so that's Holland. You've got some other championships you won in Holland.
Hundreds. God, going back to the first, just a little story for the first long track I did when we borrowed the engine. So we had a bus back then and a crew, and I remember waking up at the hotel on the Saturday morning and my bus had gone. It's a bit weird, anyway.
Weird, my bus has gone.
Yeah, my bus has gone. I'm like, anyway, I found out where the bus was. So, Pete Faulding come out of the bar, pissed. Him and Laughing Pete, his mechanic, they decided they didn't want to walk to their hotel. So they took my bus. But my mechanics were asleep on the bus.
Oh.
So they woke up at Peter Faulding's hotel. No idea how they got there. They're like, what are we doing here? So I get a phone call off Binsey. Why are we in Peter Faulding's car park? I'm like, I've got no idea why you're in Peter Faulding's car park, but that's where my bus was, and it was Pete Faulding and Laughing Pete. And there was somebody else with them as well, I can't remember who it was. But yeah, just one of those stories that you have all your life, don't you? You know what I mean? They just, where's my bus? Yeah, in Pete Faulding's hotel car park. Okay, Pete, yeah.
Cheers, mate.
And
just give me a heart attack.
Then he went on to win it that year, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So out in Holland then, other than the long track, because you got the other titles there.
Yeah.
The World Cup?
World Cup, won that 3 times.
Just won that 3 times.
Yeah.
I love it. I love that. Yeah, just won World Cup 3 times.
Well, Venray back then...
The old Venray.
Well, you said the old Venray. There's been 3, haven't there? Or 4, I don't know how many there's been.
Oh, was there? I didn't know the 2.
Yeah. So, obviously, we were going all the time to Holland then. So, when they built the new Venray, Harry Masson, when Barlow shut, Harry Masson decided to build a track.
Yeah.
Just like you do, you wake up, I'm going to build a track. And he did. And obviously, back then it was, when we got there, it was quite basic. There wasn't a lot there, but he built on it, and then he built on it again.
No, it's just the start. He just wanted the track.
Yeah.
Because obviously Barlow had gone.
He couldn't have the track there. What do you mean he can't have the track there? So he had to move the track. So he moved the track, I don't know how far, maybe 200-300 metres.
Is this from the one that's now to the other one?
Yeah,
but
it's
literally the other side of the road.
I think there's one before that. I don't know if there's been 3. I might be wrong, but every time he just builds another track, and I'm like, what do you mean? And he gets on his digger and he just builds another track, and you think, what is this man doing? But if you know Harry Masson, he's a very determined character.
Yeah.
and if he's going to build a track, he's going to build a track.
Yeah.
And he did. And so obviously we went every year and
supported it.
Yeah,
and whatnot,
absolutely. Yeah. And we've had some really good years. And
so did they take over the World Cup then from when Barlow finished?
Yeah.
They said this will now be what the long track was.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it sort of swapped over to become the World Cup. Which is what it is now, and it's an absolutely superb event now, you know what I mean, the whole thing. But like I said, the tracks, I'm pretty sure it has moved. I think there's been 3.
Right.
And you know, it's evolved to what it is now, which is probably one of the best stadiums.
Unreal, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We went there for the first year this year.
Yeah.
And we were like, wow. We're going to bring a bike next time.
You know what I mean? And you say, wow, but he doesn't pay somebody to build that stadium. He's built that stadium. You know, he's there on the digger building that stadium.
Yeah.
And that, I like that. I just think he's absolutely brilliant for what he's done and
for the sport.
And he loves us going over every year because we have done, and you know we're very welcomed and we enjoy it.
They are very welcoming over there, aren't they?
Absolutely super.
They
love the English. You know, their racing has had its ups and downs over the years. It's died off a bit. It's come back. It's back again. The field job took over. The tarmac job's coming back a bit. It has. You know, it runs different things, but it's good. The job over there is good and strong.
They got some quality over there now, haven't they? Real good quality.
We enjoy racing over there. I enjoy the World Cup weekend at the Venray. I do. I enjoy the Centre Parks. I enjoy, you know, one of the best things I did this year was taking Harry swimming at Centre Parks. It was just, and I was there, and I wasn't even bothered about racing. Do you know what I mean? I was just
there
like, this is
for the week.
I want to do. I just want to make memories and. You know, obviously I have a lot of fans over there because I've been going over there that long. So every year we go over, you know, we sell a lot of team wear, a lot of people wearing my stuff, and that side of it.
It's crazy to see the Dutch in there, isn't it?
Means a lot more to me now because I kind of sit back now and I know I'm not going to win hundreds of more championships and stuff. I know that, I'm not stupid, but I am going to win a few more, and I'm being involved with a few more. And when I see the support I've got, that's what just keeps me going.
Oh, of course, it's mad. The fans still coming over.
Yeah,
it's still like remember from the first few years probably, and it still hits you now.
Absolutely,
you're like, wow.
And
I mean, the F1's more than anything. The following is just massive, isn't it?
I have fans over there who they fetch me pictures of them with me with their children who are now my fans, who are now adults. That side of it as well, and you've got a picture with it. You got this little kid on your knee, and he's now my fan, wearing one of my tops, and he's bigger than me, and you just think, wow, you know what I mean? And just that side of it. So.
It's good. So Holland's always been
special
for you.
Always
yeah, definitely. Yeah. So that's Holland then. New Zealand racing now. So we spoke about Holland, special place in your heart over there.
Yes.
New Zealand.
Yeah.
We did speak a little bit about this.
Yeah.
But now you went over there.
Yep.
For your first year on your honeymoon.
Yep.
Ended up jumping in a motor.
Yep.
And you done all right?
Yeah.
Yeah, straight away.
Yeah.
Missed a year.
Yeah.
Come back.
Yeah.
This is where. So how do you get a drive out there?
Well, so what happened was the very first year we were there, we watched the New Zealand champs.
Yeah. Is that the team or the normal?
No.
The 240.
No.
It's different.
They're New Zealand champs, which back then English weren't allowed in.
Yeah.
So to be New Zealand champion, the English weren't allowed in it. And a guy called Lyle Rumney won it, who was sponsored by Stan and Sonia Hickey. So I first met Lyle when he was upside down in a bin, head first, drunk, that night. And we got on really well, and I said to him, look, if you're coming over, we'll sort your car out.
Yeah.
To Stan and Sonia. I said, this is, if you want a car. So they spoke to quite a few people over there. A few people had said to him, if you go over there, you'll get a shit car off Wainman, don't get a car off Wainman and all this. You get that, you know what I mean? And I'm like, whatever, offers there if you want it, you know what I mean? Anyway, they rung us up and said, can you... I said, yeah, we'll sort a car out. I said, we'll get it sorted. And we put a car together for Lyle, painted it all up, got it all sorted for him, took him practicing. And he, I think he got 4th at World Final at Ennisford, didn't it? He had a really good time. You know,
was that the time trial, getting on the time trial?
He was not good on his time trial particularly.
Right.
He was a good all-round driver, Lyle, but not a number one driver, if that makes sense. But he could put laps in, he could read the traffic, he could read a race. And he just stuck to task at World Final, and he got 4th. And they were absolutely blown away with it, you know, so happy.
Happy with the car, happy with the performance.
So they said to me, we'll get you a car for when you come out.
Mm-hmm.
So we formed probably a lifetime relationship with Stan and Sonia Hickey, which has been absolutely amazing for us, you know what I mean? We've been over that many more times. And back then, I remember they rang me one night, Stan and Sonia, and they'd had a few to drink. And Sonia said, "We've bought you a car." I said, "What do you mean you bought me a car?" "Well, obviously when you're coming over, you can do all meetings, and then Lyle can race as well, because they owned Lyle's car, they sponsored him with a car." I said, "Okay, right.
So you need to get up.
You've bought me a car. Okay, right. Right, yeah, no problem. It's all sorted, we'll be good." So I'm like, right, okay. So they sent me the pictures of this car, which is the body that's up on the wall down there.
Yeah, the black one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they got it all signed, written up in my sort of sponsor colours back then, which were rapid orange. And everything was good to go, I'm sorted. And then I get another phone call before I went over. Stan's decided that he wants to do a meeting. Is he all right to do a meeting in your car?
Was this a brand new one?
No, just
okay.
a car I bought. I'm like, "Sonia, it's your car. Why would you ask me if Stan can race your car? He owns the car, so why did he..." "Yeah, but we bought it for you." I'm like, "Well, of course he can race." Well, he's a stupid old sod anyway. He doesn't need to race. Stan used to race years ago. He's you know what I mean, he like a lot of years ago. He just fancies having another go. I said, "All right." So get him out in it, no problem at all. So that's how Stan Hickey ended up number 515, because the car was signed written up for me, and Stan just jumped in it.
Yeah.
But when he jumped in it, he was good again straight away, and that led to him racing for probably, I'm going to say 8 to 10 years. And like he had...
What, from having that go?
Yeah,
oh, right.
He had like 3 NZ, he won championships. And he'd sort of never really thought he could get back in, but because he had the car then, he jumped back in. And the years we spent over there racing together, going all over everywhere. They had a car for me, and yeah, it was absolutely part of my life that means a lot, really, because we enjoyed being there. We nearly moved there. We had a plot of land sorted. We very, very nearly moved there.
Oh.
Very, very nearly moved there.
That's how much you...
Early 2000s.
Invested in it and loved it.
We had plans drawn up to build a house and workshop and everything. And everything very, 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 very nearly. The only one thing that stopped me going were my grandparents. Both sets of my grandparents were still alive. And I sat down one night, and obviously my grandma and granddad, my dad's mum and dad, they lived here at the farm.
Yeah.
Obviously when I was growing up, I kind of grew up with them totally. My mum had a job, and my dad obviously was in here. So like when I was young, I used to get up, go next door, and I was with my grandma and granddad and with my grandma.
Yeah.
So I had a really close relationship with that set of grandparents. Right through my life, we used to go to tractor auctions with him. I did a lot of stuff with him when I was little. And I sat there, and me and Sam were having a really serious night, and I'm like, how many years are they going to still be alive to the fact I might not see
Leave
them again?
Yeah.
And I couldn't do it. I couldn't leave them. And we just put everything on hold and stayed here. And it was that. And I'm glad I did, because obviously, again, I saw them every day of their life until they both passed away, which, you know what I mean? And I'm glad I did now, because looking back, had I gone to New Zealand, I might not have come back over here. I wouldn't have come back over here every year. We wouldn't have been able to afford to, because you'd have been stuck, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And I sort of look back at it and think, was it the right decision? Yeah, it definitely was, because, you know, and then obviously when by the time they passed away, it was too late then to emigrate and set up again, if that makes sense. But whether it was the right thing for my kids, I don't know. I think they'd have had a really good life in New Zealand. I'm not saying they haven't got a good life here, because they have, but England's a shithole, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
New Zealand's not. And your kids...
I've not experienced it yet, but everyone that's been over
it's
the
just an unbelievable place, you know what I mean? In New Zealand, if you want to work and get on with something, you'll make something of your life, and, you know, your kids, your future and what they do, it's kind of plays on your mind a little bit, but, you know... So yeah, we did nearly move there, but then... So after that all, we decided to stop here. I then stupidly decided for some reason I'd build a car over here to ship over there.
I like this story.
Now, I don't know why we did this, but we just did. And obviously I was building a lot of cars, English cars back then, which were... And obviously, when you're building stock cars, it's something you put a lot of time, a lot of pride into, but I'd built that many. I fancied doing something a bit different.
Yeah, 100%. You're doing the same thing over and over again.
And it just... I was over there and I thought, you know what, I could build one of these. I could build one of these if I've got... And I set to and built one, and it was just one of them things you do in life. I mean, I don't even know where I got the money to ship it all over there. But then it evolved from just a car to a truck as well. We did a race truck. And we shipped the whole lot over there. And it's just one of them.
Importing it all and all that.
I imported the whole thing, and I just remember just building it all and the amount of hours we put into building it. But it was something nobody'd ever done, which spurred me on to want to do it, just to be the only person that ever has. And I remember ringing up for a quote to ship it on a container ship, you know, to get the truck and the car over there. And I rung up for this quote, and the woman on the phone, she was really good, and she gave me 3 prices for shipping, for taking this flat rack container to New Zealand. And me naively, I'm like, why is there 3 prices? She said, well, on the container ship, there's 3 areas. She said, on the outer of the ship, that's the cheapest, because if it gets rough, they get pushed in the sea and forgotten about. I'm like, I'm not liking the sounding of this.
No, I'm just spending time.
She said the second
money.
one's further in, and the dearest price is in the bottom.
Yeah, safe.
In the middle. I'm like, well, it's going in the bottom, in the middle. I was like, what do you mean? The containers, you just knock them off the side. She said, yeah, if it gets really rough, they just get knocked off side, and then you claim on your insurance. And I'm like, what? Is that a thing? And I'm like, absolutely not. I said, I've put like a year of my life into this car and truck. I said, it needs to go
in the safest
place in the middle. And I remember taking it down there to Tilburg. I can't remember where we took it, and they put it on this flat rack and shipped it over. But just absolutely mad, and just I'm a bit only thing I was regret now is not running it over here a little bit more. We ran out of time to get it there.
What, to test it here a little bit?
Just to show people it.
Yeah.
Against our cars. Did you see what I mean? A lot of people never saw it. And it was a nice car. It was nice. And
was it purple?
Yeah. The purple
I remember
one,
seeing it, yeah.
And I just remember sort of being rushed to get it over there. And I thought, I could have shown people it. And, you know, because a lot of people in England, they'll never, ever see a New Zealand car in the flesh. They'll never see one. So, yeah, we got it shipped over there. And I remember turning up late, sort of, before Christmas. We went and we were going to do quite a long tour down south with that car. That was the plan. And so we got there sort of middle of December.
So the car got to their port and you had them pick it up, your mates pick it up? Oh, no.
No, this didn't happen. It was on its way. So
got knocked off the bottom?
No, definitely didn't get knocked off the bottom. So we got there, and obviously the car was due to arrive sort of second week in December, but it kind of got a bit delayed and a bit stuck, and it ended up where it was going to be between Christmas and New Year, which still worked for me, but I was told by a lot of people over there that come Christmas, New Year, anything that gets in won't get off the dock.
It'll stay there, yeah.
Till
New Year.
Second week in January. And I'm like, that can't really happen, do you know what I mean? I was like, but there's nothing you can do about it.
You're already
kind of
stuck.
You're
over there.
So we'd sort of not resigned to the fact that I wasn't going to get it, but we had a phone call. I don't know how I managed to get... One of the teams knew somebody who worked at the dock.
Right.
So we kind of got a little bit of inside information as to when this shit was coming in and what was happening. So we knew it was in, but we couldn't get the thing. They told us officially we weren't going to get it out till first week of January.
Yeah.
So I said to Sonia, look, what if I go up there and speak to him and try and do something? She said, you won't do nothing. She said, I want this car to
I've
go
got nothing
racing.
to lose.
I said, what? She said, you're not going to get anywhere, but go up, try something. So anyway, me and Danny was with us. Danny was only, I'm going to guess at his age, 14, 15. And we took Danny over with us as a surprise. We picked him up on the way and took him. And we drove up to this dock. And I don't know how I managed to blag my way in, because you can't sort of really get into these places, but I did. And we and Danny are in there. And we ended up in like a canteen sort of area where the workers are. And we got chatting to this bloke who was, we found out he was the reserve crane driver for lifting the containers off the ship. So if the crane driver drops dead for some apparent reason, I don't know why they would, he then steps in and unloads the ship. That's his job. So he sat in this canteen, and he just sat there, and he was just like, if what happens to him, I'm driving crane, and that's it. So we got chatting to him and talking about stock cars, and he knew a lot about stock cars, because everybody does in New Zealand.
That's one of their main sports?
Yeah, it's mental. Everybody knows about stock cars in New Zealand. It's totally different to here. You speak to anybody in New Zealand about stock car, they'll talk to you. And we got chatting to him, told him what were going on, everything. And he's like, what, so you stuck on shit? I said, yeah. I said, they reckon I can't get it off. And he's like, yeah, you're fairly knackered. He said, it's like, it'll be first week of January. He said, what? I said, is there anything we can do? He went, I ain't got a clue. He said, let me ring my boss up. So he rung his boss up, explained the situation to him.
I've got this Northern
Englishman.
Englishman.
I've got this lad sat here, and he wants to get this. And he came back to me. He said, right. And his boss sponsored a stock car, so he knew all about us all and what we did. They can't spare the crane, he said, but he has told me I can lift it off with a forklift. And I looked at him and I'm like, a forklift? He said, oh, it's a big forklift. I'm like, it's a full-size container, a 40-foot flat rack with a race truck and a stock car on it. He said, we can lift it off with a forklift and maybe get it through customs. He said, but the crane can't go to that part of the ship till it's unloaded whatever parts of the ship. He said, that's going to be next week or week after or whatever it is. So he said, but we can get it off with a forklift. I'm like, right. He said, but how we're going to get it off with a forklift, I really don't know. And I said, well, I don't either, because I'd converted this race truck. It was all painted. It had lockers downside. So everything...
You're going to forklift under there?
How are you going to lift that off a flat rack? He says, well, what about some blocks of wood to chassis? I'm like, and I'm thinking, because obviously I'm a very practical person, and
you'll find a way.
If somebody says I can't do it, I want to do it.
Find a way.
So I'm like, well, yeah, I said, but is that what? He said, well, you can go and do it, can't you? I said, well, do whatever you want. I said, but are we allowed to? He said, well, do what I want. I'm like, all right,
let's do it.
So we set to, and bear in mind, Danny were 15. So he gets down there, gets his little high vises on, and he turns up with this forklift. And when this forklift come, and he said it was a forklift, you know how you got a vision in your head of a forklift? Yeah, it wasn't one of them. No. It was fucking massive. And I'm like, oh, wow, yeah, that will lift that off there, won't it? So me and Danny are under my truck, blocks of wood to chassis, to lift it out of the flat rack and off the ship. Right? Now, bear in mind, this truck was, at the time, my whole world. It was my pride and joy, do you know what I mean?
Pristine condition.
He's lifting it up with this forklift, and he had to lift it to clear the ends of the flat rack, because the flat rack fold inwards.
Right.
So he had to go 8 foot above the rack. So he sets to lifting my truck up, and I'm stood there, and I'm thinking, holy shit. And it's up there, and I'm thinking...
One wrong move there and that's gone.
Yeah. Anyway, we got it down, and I drove it to customs. We got through customs clearance. We had to empty everything off the truck, me and Daniel, so they could clean it all, MAF, the import stuff. Oh, it was horrendous.
Did you take it fully loaded then?
Yeah.
This truck was fully loaded, ready to go?
Yeah, stock car, all my wheels and tyres.
Spares, tools.
16 gearboxes, which I was going to sell over there, which was paying for the trip. ZF gearboxes, which I imported a lot of them. Everything. So we had to unload everything for them then to pretend to clean it, load it all back up. We managed to get all the clearances done. Driving down through the docks to the gate. Bear in mind, this is after everybody's said there's no way you're going to get it out of there. So he gets to this gate, I'm driving, Danny's sat in passenger seat. And this woman jumped out in front of us, waving her arms around. And I'm thinking, oh, Jesus, what we've
now?
done everything, what now? And she pointed straight at Daniel. She went, why is he in here? What do you mean? He's been here all day with me. How old is he?
18.
He's 15, why? He's not allowed in the dock. I said, all right. He's been in here for about 7 hours, working with us. He's not allowed in here. Okay. No, he's in here. He's just sat there right at the side of me. What do you want me to do? I'm not having this. He's not allowed in here. I said, okay, right, well.
We're leaving now.
Yeah, but she wouldn't let us leave. I'm going to see my superiors. He shouldn't be in here. Okay. So, but we haven't done nothing wrong. We haven't said he was...
No. Yeah.
That old, nothing. They never asked us, nothing. So I'm trying to set. I said, look, we're literally at the other side of that gate and we won't be in here. She said, yeah, but he's not allowed in here, so you're not going. I'm like, oh my.
Just let me get my lorry and car away, please.
We've done all this. We sat at a gate. The gate was there, right in front of us. And I'm like, and Danny's like, what are we going to do? I said, I don't know, Danny. I said, until she opens that gate, we can't get through it, can we? Anyway, I could hear them arguing and going on, and I'm like, but basically, you know, because we hadn't done anything wrong.
So it's in their fault.
It was their side of it. They should have said, look, he can't come in here today. He's not old enough. Blah, blah, whatever. So he come back. He's like, right, she's really pissed, but obviously there's nothing. You know, you've done everything. Everything's cleared. You're good to go. She said she's just not very happy. I'm like, right. I tell you what, the relief when that gate opened. We got out. And bear in mind, this is a truck, a car that I've built, put a lot of time, a lot of my money into, which I didn't have, everything. It was to drive that on the road in New Zealand.
That was your win.
Was like, wow. And that trip we drove down to Rotorua from Auckland. And there was a meeting on at Rotorua that night. So there's a meeting taking place. And I just remember turning up in pits with it. Not to race.
Just I wanted to
I
take
said,
that.
I'm going to drive it straight in. And I parked up.
I'm going to even unload the car and all.
Sonia come down to me and Stan. And she just looked at me. She went, how the fuck have you got that out of there? I said, I don't know, but it's here. And it was just one of them things. I just remember driving down from Auckland, New Zealand. I've driven that road thousands of times since. I've driven over here thousands of times. But that one trip,
smiling the whole time.
Yeah, just proud, just pleased that we'd done it and actually got it there. And you know, we went on a tour down south, and it was just a really, really good trip. The racing, the community of, because when you go down south over there, there's probably, I think there's probably 18 or 20 cars all went together and you camped together.
Yeah. Touring the tracks.
I think we did 4 meetings in 7 days or something. Different areas, or maybe 5. And you go to a campsite, you camp, you go to track your race, you go back to campsite, and it was just absolutely part of my life. The family as well, so obviously I had all the kids were there with me, Sam. We just absolutely loved it. It was just absolutely brilliant. And that, I think that kind of formed it gave me a bit of a standing in New Zealand, if that is standing the right word?
Yeah.
A lot of respect off their drivers, because I'd done all that and fetched a car.
I'm serious. I'm here
to be a part of what they do, and you know, I've gained a lot of friends and relationships over there with people because of that, and it's part of my life. I look back on now and think, how the fuck did I do that then? But
as well as building
it's
all
one
these
of the
cars
proudest
here,
things that I have done, and the fact I won the 240s in it a few years later and stuff. It was.
So there's a common thing here that you set your mind to something.
Yeah.
No matter what, you're going to do it.
Yeah, I'm a bit stubborn like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're very competitive and very stubborn.
Yeah.
The whole thing with the long track, I'm going to go win that.
Yeah.
And you did.
Yeah.
In the last year, you could.
Yeah. And it is part of what I am and what I do.
Yes,
you know,
100%.
if I want to, like I built our house here and stuff like that, we're going to do that. That's what we're going to do. We can't afford to buy a house, we'll build one.
Exactly that.
And that's what we do, and I get it in me and I do it, and I'm still like it now, stupidly, but obviously it's...
stupidly, I wouldn't say stupidly.
No, I would.
But yeah, you're setting these tasks and you're like, nobody's ever done it. I want to do it. I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
And no matter how I do it, whether I've got I need to get the funds somehow, I'll sell a car or I'll do something.
Yeah.
But instead of you actually going and buying a race lorry and buying a car over there...
Yeah.
No, I'm going to go and build it myself. And you know what? I'm going to ship it over there.
Yeah.
That's just crazy.
The shipping of it,
I wouldn't like to know.
Sure, it was like $7,000 or something.
For the container to go over.
I'm sure it was. Now, I never had £7,000. I don't even know where it come from, but it did. And obviously it's there, isn't it? So, it's just one of them, innit? But you look back, would I have not done it? No, would I have? You know what I mean? It's part of my life. It's
like you said, no one had ever done it. I want to do it.
You see pictures at the car's still going, you know what I mean? The car's still over there. But you see pictures of me in that car racing over there, the 240s I won in it, them sort of memories. Nobody will ever have memories like that, only me.
Yeah.
Nobody will have ever built a car, shipped it over, raced it and won a 240 World Championship in it. Nobody will ever do that. Well, I don't think they will. They're going to be stupid enough to. But
well, that's the thing. You know, it's how stupid it is.
I did it,
which is why you've done it.
And you can't buy that. Yeah, you can win World 240s, which I'd done, but you can't buy the memory of winning it in your own car. So,
as an Englishman.
As an Englishman.
Living in England.
Yeah. So that is something that nobody will ever take from me, or, you know, it's part of my legacy that I'm quite proud of.
Nice. That's brilliant. That story's unreal.
Yeah.
So you won the 240 the second time you went, second proper time you went.
Yeah.
And then you shipped your car over.
Yeah.
And then a couple of years later?
Yeah. What year did I win in my car? I think it was 2009.
So the 240s,
Yeah.
explain that championship. Because you got the New Zealand champs and then you got the 240s.
Yeah, back, I wouldn't even want to know the years. I'm going to say maybe 88. 87, 88. 87, Elwell won it. And that might have been the first year. So it'll have been 86. So the New Zealand Championship in New Zealand was always, as an Englishman, you weren't allowed in it.
No. And have they been going as long as the F1's over here?
Yeah, God, yeah.
They have,
I don't know.
60s,
no,
70s.
maybe not as long, but yeah, definitely. Yeah. So they created their invitation World Championship, which is the 240s, which is open for
anyone.
English.
Yeah.
And that's where the 240s come from. So obviously so for a lot of years they had the New Zealand Championship, which English drivers weren't allowed in, and then the other 240s Championship, which I think they've altered it now. You can actually go in there. I was one of the first to go in the New Zealand Championship. What year was that? Maybe 05 when I nearly won it. So I did nearly win that. It's one thing that I don't think I'll ever win, but I did nearly win it. I actually got on News at 10 in New Zealand, which no stock car had ever been on News at 10. It was quite I came within 3 laps of winning it at Palmerston. Got taken out by Jared Wade. It was one of them the 3 race system like they do in New Zealand, and I did nearly win it. I was in
total points over the 3 races of that night.
Yeah, he stopped me winning it. Absolutely superb, brilliant memories. I made News at 10 because I was the first Englishman to ever
have a go at
win a New Zealand title, and nearly did. No, that was it. Yeah, it was good for them as well, because obviously, you know, for them,
yeah, definitely.
You know, I mean, stock cars in New Zealand don't need much publicising really, but it gave them a bit of a thing on News at 10, if you like. That it was a big thing. Yeah.
Nice. So then 2 years after that car come over, you went and won the 240 again. The purple car.
Yeah, 2009, yeah.
Yeah, and then again, you won it for a third time?
Yeah, that were in a different car.
Oh, that wasn't in the purple
sold
one?
mine then, no. I won it once in mine, and then I won it again, I don't know what year it was.
Someone else's, yeah.
Yeah.
So to win that as an Englishman, which is the 3 races, it's basically 3 heats, and it's total points accumulated, which you have to qualify for as well.
Yeah.
That was going in as an Englishman. You've obviously got a massive target.
Yes.
On your back.
You don't finish last race normally.
So if they know that you've done all right in the first 2 heats,
you're gone.
There's going to be a few that are like, he's having it.
Yeah, it's the same every year.
Yeah, it's just that's how it is. There's no
Tom's done it. Just gets cleaned out. Andy Smith did it when he was world champion.
Yeah,
just got absolutely demolished in the last race.
How did you manage to go do that 3 times then?
You just got to know that they're going to do it and take it to them. Don't back off. Don't take any chances. Just clean them out first. You've got to work at it.
Because it's so different, isn't
it? It's better for me, the 3 race thing, in that respect, because the 1 race thing I've always hated. World Championship, there you go.
Yeah.
So the 3 race thing, it appeals to me a lot, because you can work what you're doing, and in the last race, in years gone by, you shouldn't be leading on points going to the last race, you get taken out. Well, I get taken out anyway. Don't make no difference to me. Doesn't matter if I'm 4th, 5th or 6th, I'll still get taken out. So if I'm going in leading, you haven't got to score so many in the last race. And obviously, when I score so many, in the last race, there's probably usually only 12 or 14 finish it, and which, if you get 8th, 9th, 10th, you still get real good points.
Right.
So you have still got a chance. You don't have to win every race.
No.
You could get 3rd or 4th in every race and win it still. And that's the difference. You've just got to have the mindset to be able to keep going, taking it, get in that wall, get out of the wall. I've always been good at that all my career. I can go in the wall and come out the wall. I don't know how it's probably Rob speaking.
Years of racing with speaking.
But that's what we did. And that's how you. That's how I enjoy teams as well. Your teams drivers.
That's
another thing completely different. You know what I mean? Forget your individual driving, your world championship. Forget all that shit. If you can't take a hit and go in that wall, you're not going in teams. And that's where a lot of arguments come from England. Why don't you have such a body in town? He's brilliant. He can't take a hit. He won't sit there and take a hit. He won't go down that straight knowing he's going in that wall and going in that wall. It's a certain mentality of driver that will do that.
Definitely.
Stupidly, I'm one of them. Now, obviously, in the last race, in a 240s, that it plays to you because, you're going to go in.
Yeah.
Get back out.
It's how well you take it.
Yeah, how well you get in there. You've got to align yourself, know you're going in, read the situation, get back out, get the thing started up before you've stopped. Do you know what I mean? It's all about that, and that's where it comes from. And being a fighter and surviving for stuff is what I've always done. And I enjoyed the racing in New Zealand, every race, because it's all about that. You start back, middle, front. I mean, some races I'm starting on pole position. I'm like, wow, I don't even have to pass a car here. And wow, and you win the race, and it's like, oh. And then you're at the back in the next one, and you know what I mean. And it's just good.
Quality.
And I didn't think. I kind of hoped that Frankie would take to the New Zealand racing, and he did, and he absolutely fucking loves it. He loves the blocking side of it, which again,
that's another mentality in itself for them.
To be a blocker, it's the hardest job in teams.
Yeah.
And you've got to sit there and take every hit from every car, and some of them are hard, and I mean real hard. And then you've got to pick your feet up and go again, and that's what you do. It takes a certain mentality of driver to know in his head that's going to happen. There isn't many drivers in England, and if there was any, I'd tell you some, but there isn't, who will do that. That's why we do struggle for drivers for teams.
Yeah.
I've taken drivers to teams who I think could be all right, explained it all to them, like what happens, what you'd be faced with, and then they've got there, and it's not for me, this. No. And they're good drivers, top drivers.
Yeah.
And it's a certain mentality of driver that will take that.
The thing is, you'd spot it a mile off.
Yeah.
In the first meeting, wouldn't you? You'd be like, he's the man.
Yeah.
That's who we need.
Yeah, you can see it. But
you can. And the way they get out of the car, the way this, the way that,
yeah. And I always watch in England, and when drivers are battling, pick any grade, lower grade, it doesn't matter what they are. And one puts one in fence, and then you've got to watch what that one does next. Then.
Yeah.
But if they're not willing to take that hit at the other end, which 90% of the English lot don't do, they ain't no good for teams. No good at all.
Because it's not just one car coming for them. It's 2, 3.
Yep. And that is part. You can't explain that to people. You know, they stupidly read some of them, the stuff online, and where you should have such a body and he's won this. You might never win a race in your life to be a teams racer.
Driver, yeah.
Top teams driver. Some of the top, best ever New Zealand teams drivers probably never won a race. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, that's not what they're there for.
That is the kind of mentality of it. You've got to, you just got to have the right mentality for it. I mean, I enjoy blocking and running.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a bit weird for over there because most people
they're one or the other.
One or the other.
And you've gone out there and done.
I've done both because I've had to, and I enjoy both. I do. If I get a flat and I'm blocking, I do enjoy it. I do. And part of the fact I'm brain dead probably, but I just enjoy any part of what I can do.
Are they different cars then for the blockers and the races?
No, they're
same
all
cars?
the same now. They're all the same. Sort of years ago, what you had was in every team years ago you had a fast car and 3 shit cars. That's what every team had. Now, unfortunately, they all have $5 million cars, which is kind of where we struggle a little bit because we could never get $5 million cars.
Where did these cars come from?
We just get them off teams, we lease them off teams. There's a couple of cars or 3 cars that the track own, which aren't $1 million cars, but they're all right. And we have to use them.
Yeah.
Now, the blockers, when you watch them now, so years ago when you were blocking, you'd block a car, but if that car got a run on you, you'd never get to it because you didn't have the power. You didn't have the car.
Yeah.
Now the blockers have the cars and they can do that.
So if you go past them,
they'll get to you.
They can get you still.
Yeah. Which is the only little bit where it lets Frankie down a little bit because his car just hasn't got that lift to get. Frankie has become an amazing blocker. He really has. Year by year, he's actually improved. Because if you imagine, this is the bit that people don't understand in England. Racing in New Zealand, when you start racing in New Zealand, they will block stupidly at normal meetings. So they'll go racing.
So not even the team meetings?
No.
Okay.
They'll go racing and in the last race, they'll block. So that's what they do. So they know how to do it.
Practicing, basically.
From racing. You don't do that in England.
No.
Nobody ever does that in England. No. You'd be frowned upon if you did that in England.
You start doing that, everyone's like, what is he doing?
To only go over there once a year and then have the concept of head to do that.
Swapping over into that mindset.
It's a big thing and it takes a race or two to get into it. And obviously, because you've never done it in your career, you've got to learn it all again. Blocking's a different animal. It is a different animal. You know, it's a weird thing you've got to learn how to do. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people can't do it. But it's one of the most important parts of the team. It is probably the most important part of the team. Anybody can drive around the track fast.
Yeah.
That's the easy bit. And avoid cars. It's what I do every race. It's what I've done every race since I've been over there. But to block a car and stop a car and pick the right car to block.
Because you've only got that tiny little mirror, I can imagine, that you've got to try and read the racing.
Yep, you've got to read everything.
Who's winning it?
Yep.
Who you need to stop?
Yep.
Who's going to come after you? Because they've got blockers out there that are going to block you.
Yeah, and they all have the cars painted the same, so you can't tell one from the other.
That's another one as well.
Yeah, and
it's just the number, isn't it?
So it's hard.
That's another. Didn't even think about that. They're all in the same colours.
Yep.
So you don't know if that's the leader or not.
No, that is the hardest bit. Is reading the race, and
all you got is that with your head as well. Yeah. Just wow, yeah. So you think, why didn't he get him? He's like, I didn't know.
No,
I don't know.
I mean, there was one time Chris Cowley got me by accident. I was winning the race, and Chris was looking for the leader, and he thought it was me. He thought it was obviously the leader of that, and he got me. He didn't take me out completely; he just stopped me, and then, wow, shit! But yeah, it's just so easy, So easy.
Oh, mate, that's crazy. Absolute crazy. Do we see the GB boys winning anytime soon?
We've been near, and
a few times.
I think we will. I think it will get won.
Is this one of your goals, Frank, that you're going to go and complete somehow?
It was something, obviously, as a team thing, it was something I didn't think we'd ever be able to do. Because it's all right me putting my stupid mind to doing something myself and doing it, because it's just me.
But then there's 4 others now.
5 or 6 of us.
How many's in the team?
6.
Is it all 6 on track, or is it 5 in a reserve?
Well, they've altered the rules now. So it used to be 5 cars, 5 drivers.
Yeah.
A 6th driver if a driver got knocked out, and you could swap cars. You could do anything. So I could jump. If I wrecked my car, I could jump in Frankie's car or another team car.
Yeah.
Now they've altered the rules, so you have 6 cars, 6 drivers, but you have to stop in your car.
Right.
So if we lose 2 cars, if I lose my car in first race on the first night, I'm out. So you need 6, which has got a bit harder for us now because we hardly even have 6 drivers, let alone 6 cars.
Yeah.
So it has got a little bit harder, to be fair. But we've been in the final twice, I think, and just a rub of the green. Just one of them. I rolled Peter Rees over, which was the year we probably should have won it, and then he got landed back on his wheels, set on fire, they put the fire out, he carried on, my fuel pump packed up.
No.
Just one of them things.
You've done your job.
Yeah, the car I took out, carried on.
You've done your job.
My car died. So that, instead of them being down a car, we were down a car. It's just, you're gone.
It's massive.
It was one of them split decisions. I did everything right. It was perfect. Didn't go in too hard. Flipped him. Sat there on the yellow, on the reds, and it stopped. I'm like,
oh no.
Fuel pump wire, and it's just one of them. And it's just them. You have to have them things go for you the right way to win it. You know, like I say, we have been in the final twice, or maybe 3. I can't remember how many times we've been in it, but you know, we are there or thereabouts, one of the top teams. So you know, and that, even to be that, we're proud of that. To be fair,
I can imagine that final going in there. The stadium's packed. I imagine everyone's looking. Can Team GB
do it?
Do it.
Yeah. The word.
Do you know what I mean? Imagine that, even for the Kiwis.
The first year we did it was a bit weird for me because I didn't know how they would accept us as a team, if that makes sense. I was a little bit worried that we weren't going to be accepted, but it was totally the opposite. Whoever we were against had their supporters, but everybody else
was for you lot.
Were for us lot. And it was just like, wow. And it was that and they just enjoy seeing us in the teams and doing it. So yeah.
Madness. Madness. So the plan, the Frankie Wainman that he's committed so many different things to, and he's stuck to it, and he's succeeded. Yeah. Winning the GB, winning the New Zealand teams is one of them. Yeah, and he's still going, so there's still a chance.
Oh, definitely, there's more than a chance. And obviously, Frankie's got the mindset a little bit of me as well, somewhere along the line, which is quite good.
That can always take over.
He's proper wanting to win it. So there's 2 of us, and obviously, you know, we can work with that. And like I said, we're both really keen to do it. So
keen to win it.
Yeah. So hopefully.
Nice. Right. So we talked about your career now. We move on to, unless you've got anything else that you've got ahead, and there's probably plenty more. But I think we've got most of New Zealand, most of Holland.
Yeah.
I mean, up to current time now. Let's talk about current time. Championships on horizon. I know you're still out there. You're still doing customer cars.
Yeah.
You're still probably not putting as much time into yours as you'd like you've done forever. You've got obviously Ted racing.
Yeah.
Phoebe doesn't race as much anymore.
No, she stopped when she had Harry.
She stopped when she had Bubba. Yeah. So,
well, she did the UK Open last year and won that.
Yes.
Which was fucking unbelievable.
Yeah. Did you get second? No.
No, I didn't. No, I crashed out early on, right. Which was, I got a good break as well, so they had a stoppage, and my car was dead. I can't remember what happened to it, and they pushed it off track, which meant I could get out and watch. So I went and we watched it with Sam, which was unbelievable to actually watch you. It's like I sit and watch as a race, and you can kind of pick who's quick, and she set off after yellows, and I was like, fuck me, that's going, that. And nobody got anywhere near her, and I was like, she could actually win this. And when she
turned to Sam, she could win this.
Yeah, and Sam was just like, you know, we're both there. 'Cause obviously, as parents, you want your kids to do well in anything they do. But she was going to win a championship, and I'm like, we were just both like there, like that. How many laps? Don't know.
Clock's ticking down, the laps are ticking down.
It was the longest race in living history. And it just, one of them, it was like watching her when she won the British in the V8s, and it just, the feeling afterwards, and taking Harry on track to her and stuff, it just, yeah, again, new memories that just will live with you forever.
Definitely.
You know, and just, yeah. So, yeah, she did the UK last year and won that, so it was superb.
Brilliant. We'll get on to them first, but before then, we'll talk about current time. So, obviously, the racing at the minute is probably more competitive than ever.
Yeah.
Everyone's got a good car. This is what everyone keeps saying in F1s at the minute. The White Roofs have got as good of a car, if not better, than some of the superstars. Yeah. So, for you now to win, not only are you beating the Reds and superstars, you've also got to beat the whites, yellows and blues that are in good.
Yeah.
Is that good for the sport?
Absolutely it is, because you've just got it. It shows we've kept everything the best we can to keep it competitive.
Yeah,
you know,
it's not like Formula One Grand Prix where you've got the two teams and that's that.
That's it.
You've got anyone on that track.
Absolutely.
If they put the bumper in and have a good race, they're going to win.
Yeah, you've got 30 cars on track. You know, I can pick. They say all of them, but I could pick out of them 16 or 18.
Yeah.
That are going to win that race.
Yeah.
Your sport doesn't get any better than that for me.
That's right, yeah.
You know what I mean? How much leveler could you have it?
At the top flight, you've got 16 drivers in one race that can win.
Yes. You know, and then it comes down to the driving or what you're doing or
how
set
well
up on
the day. That car,
yeah, absolutely. And it is good. It's superb. You know, the job's, it's been held right. We're keeping it right. We're trying to cut back a little bit on stuff to keep the money out of it if we can.
Trying to, yeah.
Just to try and keep it affordable for people to do. Mm-hmm. I've been a big part of that, like all my career, really, because, you know...
Part of that side?
Yeah, obviously, I've never been one for buying trophies. I think it's...
But you've always built everything.
Yeah, so it's not the mentality I've had, you know what I mean? I get people can't build cars, so they have to buy a car. Absolutely, I get. That's why my cars have always been a reasonable price. You know, I used to build.
That's how you made your business.
Absolutely, you know, I built cars that are better than my own cars for people. You know what I mean? For a good price, a reasonable price, and that's how I still do it now. Mm-hmm. You know, I've got Yeller and Niels in two of the top cars in Holland. You know, the fastest when they come over here, they're in my cars. You know what I mean? And it's still going now.
Yeah.
But, you know, we're happy doing what we're doing. So
you're still loving the racing?
Yeah.
You always said to me before, you said, at the moment I don't love it, I'll give up.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you're still loving it?
Yeah.
Racing's competitive as ever?
Yeah.
And you're finding it harder each year to maybe win more and more?
No, I've won a few finals last year. I enjoyed it. I've been lucky enough to get a good engine sponsor last couple of years. Paul McCurran's come along and wants to help us out a little bit, which gives me a
handy.
bit. It frees up a little bit more of my money to buy tyres and stuff, which is why we've won a bit more this year. Mm-hmm. You know, I can go to meetings now with better tyres on and win more races. It's all about that. So yeah, we're enjoying it. I think, you know, people have accepted that I'm not going to win 15 finals a year anymore. I'm not going to do that. But, you know, as long as I win a few, you know, I've won a final more than one every year I've raced. So, you know, it's a goal of mine to get to 300, which hopefully I'm going to do. But, you know, and I can almost guarantee that's going to happen because he ain't going to stop until he does it. No, probably not. No, but you know the job's hard now. It's hard to win. You know,
it looks.
You see, like when I was running back in the 2000s, when you go out on track, there was probably realistically only 3-4 cars that were going to win that race.
Really?
Yeah, and that's how it was. You know, the others were building up to being better, or didn't have good enough cars or whatever.
Yeah.
But now, like I said, the whole field is so level.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just
it's just so competitive.
Yeah, where it is. Yeah,
It's good. It's good for the spectator.
absolutely.
For you boys, it makes you work that bit harder.
Yeah.
Than what you probably did before, because you knew before if you went half-heartedly, you probably still could pinch a race win. Now, you're just not going to do it. Not with people being able to practice now, whereas before they never used to.
Yeah.
So, yeah, good. So we still see you trying to win as many races, as many championships
Yeah,
as you can now.
absolutely. And I say going back to when we used to race a lot and win a lot, you could do your heat on an old tyre and still win it.
Yeah.
You could drive and win it. Now, you won't get it top 12.
No.
You wouldn't.
Which you can't qualify for the final.
Yeah.
So you need to your best in the heat to qualify for the
you
final.
need good tyres on all the time. So,
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So we move on now to the kids.
Yep.
Phoebe and Frankie. Obviously, we see Frankie at the beginning of Gears and Tears, his first start of the career. And as you said, you never won the gold in your mini career.
Yeah.
So when you set out with Ted,
Yeah.
was it I'm going to give him what I didn't have?
I think it was. Yeah.
It was.
Yeah. I mean, obviously.
You hear that a lot of the times.
Yeah. Before Frankie started, obviously.
You had Danny as well, didn't you?
No, we did Danny before, long before that.
Yeah.
He's well old now. He's virtually due for retiring, I think. Phoebe was obviously old enough to race minis, but didn't want to.
Yeah.
Which I've never.
The offer was there for her, but she just.
You know, I kept saying to her, we got her a car. I borrowed a car, went out of practice with her. Do you want to do it? She was umming and ahhing. She was good. No, I'm all right. No problem at all. And then, obviously, when Frankie started, I built a mini up for him. And like I said, because I struggled in minis a bit, I didn't want him to. I wanted him to
have the best chance.
Have some kit. And I built the cars. I'm capable of building minis, so we did it. And obviously, he started at the end of the year because his birthday's October. And then we did that awards night. And just a feeling I had coming away from the awards night, I said to Sam, I said, you wait on way home. She said, what? She said, Phoebe. And on way home, Phoebe tapped me on the shoulder and she's like, would I be able to have a go? I'm like, yeah, of course you can, Phoebe. And we got her a car and we took her to, there was a meeting, I think it might have been Boxing Day at Skegness. And we got this car, Frankie were racing, and we got her a car. And she went out and she just loved it and she was really good. And we just set to with both of them then. But obviously Phoebe only had probably a couple of years, I think.
It was, wasn't it?
And she shouts at me now saying that I should have made a race.
Should have pushed her.
Yeah, I said, Phoebe, it's not what we do. I said, it was your choice.
Yeah, but I didn't know back then. I didn't know.
That's exactly.
You should have pushed me.
You asked her out and that's what she said. And, you know, she got second in the world final. She did really well.
But she only had 2 years.
Yeah.
And she's probably beaten herself up about
it. It was hard in them 2 years because her last year, you talk about the kids, obviously Frankie was learning. And in her last year, so you got 2 minis out there, and me and Sam used to take it in turns to watch one then the other.
Right.
But then, because it was Phoebe's last year, and she was right at the top, and Frankie was just like a blue top, yellow top, he was learning. And we kind of had to concentrate a little bit on Phoebe, because it was her last year.
Yeah, she was the better one at the time.
That was hard for us, hard for me, because I wanted to watch them both. But when you try and watch them both, you lose them both, because you can't find them. So we had to sort of watch Phoebe a little bit in her last year, and Frankie was sort of just on his own a little bit. And then obviously when Phoebe finished and Frankie got sorted, then the year after, he just, I think he was 12 when he won his first gold top at Barford. He was unbelievable little driver. He was superb.
Simply down to him, obviously, having the first year learning, and then you going, right, Phoebe's done. Yeah. Let's do it.
Here we go.
This is your chance now, Frank.
He smashed everything. He was unbelievable at minis. He was just a lot more level-headed than me.
Right.
He wasn't as aggressive as me, which winds me up sometimes, but then other times I think...
He done the right thing there.
Yeah, and you have to say that. You have to sometimes say, yeah, maybe he was right.
Yeah.
And, he just drove faultlessly in the minutes. He was just patient and, yeah.
Did he take to the garage side as much as you did from the early age?
Yeah, he had to.
He was always out here?
Yeah, he had to.
Before he can even allowed to pick up a spanner, he was out here?
Yeah, he just, wanted to help out and do stuff, and the practical side of it. I might be wrong. There's probably drivers who don't know one end of a spanner from the other that are good drivers. I don't know, but for me, you've got to understand what you're racing to be fast in it.
Yeah, to be able to change it, you need to know it
and what you're doing to it.
Yeah,
and Frank is learning that now with his tarmac car he's built. He's built that himself. Based on our chassis design and altered everything to suit what he wanted to go and do. And he's learning stuff all the time, and he's enjoying that side of it as much as racing. Mm-hmm. He's enjoying
that's half the battle.
The setup. He'll come back here. I mean, he won quite a few finals last year, and he'd come back here after a meeting, and he'd be altering something. I'm like, "What are you doing?" He said, "I want to try this." Okay, and I can't say anything because I was the same.
Yeah.
And if you don't try something,
you won't learn.
You won't know.
And if he's got telling him the whole time,
you said to him. I tried that, said it don't work.
Tried that 25 years ago.
And he's like, I haven't tried it, have I? I'm like, okay. But I like that.
Yeah.
It's
ballsy.
Try it. What do you want to try? Do it. Just, yeah. And so, he's
nice. And obviously he's now, Phoebe's stopped obviously because of the Bubba.
Yes.
He won that last year as a one-off.
Yeah.
And now Frank, we see him as a blue roof this year at the British.
Yep.
Nearly won it.
Yep.
Paul Hines just got away.
Yeah.
Well, I thought I was saying when we was watching, I was like, "Cool, young Frank wins this."
Yeah, he was. Like I said, that was in his tarmac car. Now he's up to superstar end at season. He's won, and that's just doing tarmac. Obviously, because he got married last year.
Yeah.
He was never going to do shale.
It's a big commitment in itself.
He just wanted to concentrate on getting everything sorted for his wedding. So he said, "I'll do a bit of tarmac."
Yeah.
Finish that car. The shale car's ready to paint for if he's going to race next year or the year after, whichever he does. It's up to him. And we've got a new lodge to do for him next year, so he'll probably be a bit steady next year as well. But life, it's his life.
Of course.
He takes that at his speed, whatever he wants to do. So
does he work here with you?
Yeah. He works here with every day. Yeah, we're building the cars and doing the experience days and all that. We do all that together, me and him. So that's nice.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't forced him to do it neither. Before anybody says anything, it's his. He's
got to earn his keep anyway.
Yeah, no, but he's a welder by trade. He's a certified welder, everything. So he's absolutely superb on that side of it, and he wants to do it. The experience days have taken off, and we both just love doing it. It's nice. Good. So
we're going to see young Frank going to emulate you. Do you reckon? Who knows?
You need him sat here to ask him that.
I know. Yeah, we'll get him on next.
I can't answer that. He's definitely good enough lap wise and car wise.
And garage wise, everything. He's got it.
He has started to get a little bit pissed off with people as well, which
Ooh.
I kind of think, which is good. And it's crack on, but you need that.
Yeah, definitely.
You need that side of it.
You need the fire.
You need the fight in you to not be pushed around and bullied. And bully's not the right word, is it? Bullied.
I like to say that. Yeah, if you want to win, you need to take people out.
Yes,
and that's it.
Yeah,
or you're going to get taken out.
Yeah,
so you do need that fire.
So when he comes back angry, I'm like, yeah, it's good. I like that.
It's good to see.
Yeah,
nice.
As long as it wasn't me that made him angry. It could have been.
No, hopefully not. But you talked about experience days. We'll talk about that because I have done an experience day and it was very, very good.
Good.
If you've never driven an F1 car before like me, who I really wanted to get one and have a go.
Yep.
Obviously, I want to race as well. But just to have a go was brilliant. So how did that come about? Because you've always done hire cars, haven't you, and stuff like that?
it was just something I thought again, me being stubborn and stupid like I am, and I thought
I
had quite a lot of people who wanted to hire cars, but didn't think they were good enough to do a meeting.
Yeah.
So part of me thought, well, what about if we do just a day? And so I thought, well, get a couple of cars. We had 3 at the time, 3 of the hire cars, and we'll just try doing a day at Skegness. So I spoke to Rob Speak, told him what
the plan was. Yeah.
What do you think, Rob? He went, yeah, I like the sound of that. Went through all the insurance stuff, got everything sorted. I said, we'll give it a go. Anyway, put it on, and it booked out instantly. I was like,
okay,
sure, right, okay. Went and did the first one, and straight away it was just like, wow, I absolutely loved it.
Why didn't I do this sooner?
And I learned quite a bit about myself as well, because I had people come who I'd never spoke to at meetings, and they came and did the experience day and talked to me, and they're like, I can't believe we're speaking. I said, what do you mean? Well, we don't speak to you at a meeting. What do you mean you don't speak to me at a meeting? Why? Oh, no, you're way too busy and way too concentrated. I'm like, no, this is brilliant. I just wanted to come and talk to you. And
knowing you're making their memories
like,
is mad.
Are you actually for real? What do you mean? And they're like, yeah, we just wanted to speak to you and Frankie. It's been absolutely brilliant. We've loved it. And I just like, and the stuff with Rob Speak at Skegness, the amount of people,
the banter you two have in front of everyone,
and they're just like, what do you want him to speak? Oh, yeah, what do you? And we just have so much banter, and people are just that, and they're actually in awe that like it's Rob and Frankie, and they're just having a laugh, and we have such a good laugh doing it all. And Rob helps out; he just loves it, and it's been probably one of the best things we've ever done. To be fair, every time we put it on, it's booked out. The last time we put 20 slots on, they were booked out within 3 hours. They're just gone, and I'm like, Jesus. And
that's mental, isn't it?
And it's just worked. We've had a couple of people buy cars to race. Mm-hmm. We've had people hire cars to race. And it's given a lot of people... Some people are never going to race. They know that. I had an old chap come and did it. He was in his late 80s. And he got there and he was like, really nervous. He said, look, I don't think I should do this. He said, I'm going to be really slow. He said, I'll just get it way. I said, well, there's only 40 out there. I said, the other 3, no, it's their first time too. You know what I mean? Yeah, but what if I'm under the fit? I said, look, you've booked your day. If you're really slow, you're really slow. No, there's no track limit. There's no speed. Do you want to go out on track in the stock car? Yeah, it's all I've ever wanted to do. Get in there. And obviously we speak to all 4 of them together. As you know, you've done it. Yeah. And like if one of them's slow, they just go round him. It's no issue at all. Yeah. And that old gentleman, he come back after his first race, and I'll never forget his face. He was just so happy. And he was apologetic. He's like, I'm sorry, I said, look, did you enjoy it? He said, it's the best thing I've ever done. I said, right, job done. I said, you know what I mean? And it's so good like that. And the amount of people we have I've had people do 2 or 3 and then hired to do a meeting because they've gained a bit of confidence to be with other cars, which they wouldn't have had. If they'd gone out and done a meeting, there's possibility you just get smashed up straight away because you don't know what you're doing.
You don't know how to handle the car.
You don't know how to handle a car. Yeah. But, you know, we had a lad, a bloke who did one last year, and he came and did the Skegness Gala night, and he did the experience day just before Gala night as well to get used to the car that he was going to race. And he did the Gala night. He finished every race, and he didn't get lapped. And he absolutely loved it. and that it works. It does work. Rob's right behind it. Skegness. It's good for Skegness. It's good for the job as a whole.
Yep.
It's given me a lift with the racing. You know, the money side of it.
Yeah.
It helps with the racing, and everybody knows that. So not only are they getting the experience there, but they're putting back into my racing and Frankie's racing.
It's a way of supporting you guys as well.
Yeah. They like that part of it as well. You know, it's just a win-win right through, and it's just such a brilliant day. You know, Sam gets involved; she does the buffet for everybody for the days. You know, and it just works. It works so well. So yeah, it's. I wish I'd done it sooner. To be fair,
that's what it sounds like.
Yeah, I do, because you know, you have people now. I had a dad, a daughter, and a son come and do it, and you get to know them as they're doing it. And the dad and the son kept picking on the daughter on track. And me and Frankie were like trying to give her tips to, you know what I mean? And it was just such a good day for all of them. And
it's an experience, which is what it's meant to be.
Yeah, absolutely. An experience day. It's exactly what it is. And, you know, for some people, I have Formula 2 drivers come and do it, who race, good Formula 2 drivers. I've had experienced old Formula 2 drivers come and do it, you know, and ex-world champions come and do it, and it just, Roy Goodman, do you know what I mean? And he's coming back to do it again. He absolutely loved it, and he just, I suppose, for some of the older generation drivers who've never raced an F1, they maybe regret that they didn't when they were younger. Yeah. So they want to have a go.
Just that blast.
Just to have a go in it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. It's
good. It's good for the job. It's good for
absolutely.
It's good for the spectators, the drivers that also come and do it.
Yeah,
it's good for you. Yeah. It's good for the sport.
It is.
It just works.
It was also a way of trying to get people back into racing, back into the roots of racing, because you could look at our job now and think you need 150 grand to race, and you need 150 grand car. No, you don't. That's just bullshit. You know what I mean? You can buy a car at reasonable money, proper money, and be exactly the same. And that side of it is how I wanted to try and get people interested.
To try and have it look like that,
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, because it is... you need a few grand to race, I get that, but you don't need an 150 grand car and a 300 grand race truck. You know what I mean? You can go and race and be involved,
and that's what you're doing, showing that.
And that's what I'm trying to show and keep to where we are and what we do.
Nice.
Oh yeah,
it's good. Anyone who hasn't or thinking about doing it, I highly recommend it. Go and do it. The numbers will be in the description for him anyway, so you can always book through that when the slots do become available. But you've got to be quick.
Yes.
Right, moving on, we've got Gears and Tears. Wouldn't be right if I didn't come here and speak about Gears and Tears.
We did that.
Oh, we did?
No,
we did?
Not properly. Go on.
We did a little bit at the beginning.
Yeah,
but we said we'd move on to it because Gears and Tears was part of my life for a good couple of years.
You want to talk about Gears and Tears? It's not to do with me.
I want to talk about Gears and Tears. And when I first met Chels, when she used to come round, and she used to come round, the first thing I'd get in the bedroom, Gears and Tears be on. She's like,
we're going to
watch this. Yeah.
Not to, right.
No.
Is this Gears and Tears? Like,
when we began to sleep, Gears and Tears was on.
Okay.
Right, we'll leave it at that. And she was like, we're watching it again. Yeah. There's nothing else stock car wise related. I was in the mini stocks.
Back then.
There was nothing.
Yeah.
And it was the only thing that us kids or teenagers, whatever, could watch that was to do with stock cars.
Right.
So, that was on repeat all the time. Yeah. So, talk about how you got approached by the BBC.
Yeah, it was...
Because that's bizarre for Formula One.
It was just random. It was a bloke who'd done a bit of racing who got high up in the BBC called John Lakey, and he had this idea that he could put a bit of something together.
Make something of it.
Yeah, and he came in, he said, I've got to do a tester, which at the time it was
2008.
2008, I think it was, they did the tester.
7 or 8.
And they said to me and Smiths, look, can you just film a bit of shit and send us it? Which for us was more of a laugh than anything else, and it was good. It was a shitty Coventry, and I think I won. It was good, and we had a right laugh doing it, and we sent it all in because obviously there's nothing too serious. There's no film crews. This was just us doing it.
Yeah.
And we sent it all in, and he come back to us. He went, "Yeah, they want us to do a
pilot.
A pilot,
Yeah,
where we'll come along and do a bit of filming with you properly because they were really taken with it all." So I'm thinking, it's all right. They've seen us
make a fool of yourselves. Yeah, you're doing it yourselves.
Shit.
Yeah,
So they must see something they want to do. So they came and did the pilot, and we just obviously social media was getting. There was filming. We filmed. I've done a lot of interviews in my career, so luckily I.
You're not too bad on a camera.
I'm not too bad on a camera. I'm not as good as you, obviously, but I can sit and talk, and. They sort of said, "Can we do this pilot?" I'm like, "Yeah, and they did it, and they took it to the BBC, and they funded it and said, "Yeah, we want to run with it.
Let's do a series."
So they said to us, "Look, it'll be basically a year of your life that we will be crashing into,
Yeah,
and we'll be there." I don't know what they were. It was.
but they just turn up randomly.
Yeah,
then.
just what.
We're here to film. And like,
Yeah,
okay.
whatever. It did let you know, and I got it mad to me, you know, when I was doing the engine stuff and all sorts. They'd call me to the engine builder, and
Yeah, that was.
just I can't remember some of it, but it was what I do. But for them, filming, it didn't make no odds to me. You know what I mean? Whatever. I just remember, just like we used to go out on a Wednesday night, Wednesday night to the Dog and Gun, and they said, "We want to film you at the Dog and Gun, where you go on your Wednesday night." So I spoke to the Dog and Gun, "I want to come do some filming." And "What do you mean film?" I said, "BBC are coming to do a documentary and that." And we'd to go into the pub 3 times to be filmed, you know, walking in and out. And these people, I've eaten there for like years, and you just feel a bit of a dick.
Feel a bit silly.
And you're like,
you're walking in, and then they're like, "Right, redo." And you got to walk back out.
Here we go again.
And everyone's staring at you.
But on the opposite side of it, they told us after they thought it was really good because they know us as people,
Yeah.
and what we did,
Yeah.
and they just, yeah, it was good. It was good to be involved with. It was a lift the sport needed at the time. Obviously, being a big part of it with the Smiths, with Andy and Stuart, I was proud of that.
That's more memories.
Yeah, and the stuff they had with Frankie.
You'd never get that again, would you?
No, you'd never get it. And I remember the first day I went practicing with him, and Sam they rang us and said, "You're going practicing, Frankie, can we come film it?" And I didn't want them to, and Sam didn't, and
well, just in case.
well, no, so obviously
It's a lot of pressure on a child, isn't it?
yeah, and I'm thinking for him, not for the television, not for the sport, not for mini stocks, for him, for little Ted, he's my little boy. Would I want that? And I thought, I don't think I would. Do you know what I mean? And I said to him, "Look," and he's like, "No, it's all right, Dad, I'll be fine." I'm like, "But did he just say that for me?"
Yeah.
So I was very reserved about it, and so was Sam, and they were really good with us, and they said to us, "Look, we'll film it, but if anything,
If you're not happy,
if it's not right,
yeah,
let us know and we'll go."
yeah,
And me and Sam sort of said, "Right, okay," and that's how it sort of went. But now I'm really glad they did, because
that memory of you two, him
Just
first teaching him to drive,
all of
not
it,
drive, but go
all
around the
of it,
track. Yeah.
and
Did you put it in second?
everything, just anything you go back to, and you know, you would never have that, and they did us a small thing of all what Frankie did,
Yeah.
a separate film.
Yeah,
So we've got that,
forever. Yeah,
and stuff you'd never get that, and that was precious. you know, and it was a lot of pressure on the little lad. You know what I mean? His first meeting,
it was
all them people. There was enough
Scunthorpe,
pressure that
wasn't it?
he was my son as it was. You know what I mean? He was always going to get a lot of attention and be in the limelight. Whereas a lot of mini kids at the first meeting, nobody'd even know who they were.
Yeah.
He'd just be driving around the track. He'd just be a mini going around the track, but
Son of Frankie Wainman.
everybody at Scunthorpe was watching Frankie Wainman Jnr. go around the track in his mini. And I can't imagine the amount of pressure that had on him. I honestly can't. But it's probably built him to what he is and helped. I don't know. I'd like to think it's helped him.
Well,
but that's, you know,
done his mini career right by having that pressure on early doors.
Well, obviously when they did that filming, it was like when we did so obviously the director did Deadliest Catch, is that one?
Yeah.
And when we did the engine swap at Kings Lynn,
took it out of Danny's, put it in yours.
And
for the shootout, that was, wasn't it?
You know, Danny, it was Danny's fault. He wanted to do it. And I'm like, do we have to? We can, I suppose. I'm like, and as soon as he's like, yep, we're doing it. Oh, God, here we go. And
radiator cap
I noticed
flying off.
everything
Bosh.
just... And it was one of them. And you're in the moment and you do it. And the film crews had always stopped us when we were doing stuff and said, can you do that again? Can you do this? Can you do... And then when we did the engine swap, they kind of disappeared.
They couldn't get in the crowd, that's what it was.
They were, but they blended.
To it, yeah.
And I remember afterwards, there was a moment we just started it up, and I looked round. So you don't, when you're in it, you just get on with it. And I was just about to start it up, and I just glanced round like that. And there was just thousands of people in the pits. I was like, what the fuck? Watching us change this engine. And I hadn't seen them because you're just in it.
You got your blinkers on.
And I remember starting it up, and the cheer in the pits when it started up. It was like, what the fuck? I mean, I've swapped engines and done all this. And it was just that moment. I remember the director saying to me that night, he took me on one side and he said that was the best bit of raw filming he'd ever done because of the moment and what everybody was in. Yeah. And he said, that's why I never stopped you or talked to you or intervened with anything. He said, I was just filming. He said, it was the best bit of filming I've ever done. And I thought, well, wow, fucking...
That's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Just mad. And it just, that side of it was, yeah. And people still
talk about it now.
Talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. So it weren't too much of an inconvenience.
Not at all. No.
Did you see how it, obviously they didn't show you it before it came out.
No.
But did you think it was going to be as good as it was? No.
You wouldn't, would you? How would you ever know? You don't know anything, do you? You don't.
Especially because of how much they actually filmed. You think you don't know what's going in it.
No,
the fact that they then edited that all together and put it into them 6 episodes, whatever it was, it's like, wow.
Yeah. It just, and I thought everything about it, everything worked into it.
Yeah.
Even to Paul Harrison being in the garage and not having a clue what he's doing. Because that was Paul.
Yeah.
If he needed anything to do to that car, it came here.
Yeah.
And he had no issue with that whatsoever. He was like, nah, I can earn more in the office. You take the car, fix it, fetch me back. Mm-hmm. I know it's right, I'll go and win. Done. But to have that, and then obviously the Rob and Chris Cowley, and just every part of it. And, when they were filming it, I'm like, I don't even know what they're going to make out of this. Do you know what I mean? How would he make anything out of any of this?
It's filmed all this.
Stock car racing. But when it all came to, and each episode had its own little thing, and it was just, I just thought it was absolutely superb. Probably one of the best things I've ever been involved with. It was,
Did all your drivers after? Because obviously, when was it released? Was it what I don't know. Not I just meant in the season wise.
Because it was when we were in the Isle of Man, so it'll have been around July, August.
So middle of the season.
Yeah.
So you lot of all would have come to a next meeting and been like, everyone, because it would come out every Sunday, didn't it, or something?
Yeah, whatever it was.
So everyone for the next meeting would have come back. Oh, you watched that? I bet everyone in the F1 pits was just talking about it.
It was mad.
That's all you was talking about.
Yeah, it was, and it.
That's crazy, isn't it?
It kind of. Did it fetch everybody together? Is that the right word? It did. Everybody was like, wow, and it all gelled and worked together. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's good. Really good. Got to meet my hero finally as well. Moving on, the book, which I've read.
Yes.
How did that come about? That's the first book that I've ever read all the way through, by the way.
Okay.
Ever. And then I read Harry Potter after that. Just because I wanted to read a book. But yeah, that was the first book I read all the way through.
It just came right. He came and asked me. He said, "I want to write a book. Do you want an autobiography sort of book? Do you want?" And I'm like, "Not a chance. How am I going to write a book?" He said, "No, I'll do it all. I'll just sit with you and we'll talk through stuff.
Yeah.
And then I'll put it all down." I'm like, "Okay."
So this matey, is he into stock cars?
Yeah, he was.
It's not just a publisher.
Yeah, no. He's into stock.
He knows his stuff.
Yeah.
Go on.
So he had footnotes, a bit like yourself with stuff. And he went through everything, and again, it was one of them things that it was a lot of hours talking about stuff and remembering stuff, and
trying to look back at
when it all came out,
stats.
and people read it and people enjoyed it, and then I had the backlash of people saying, "What about such a body? Do you not remember?" And I'm like, "Oh shit, forgot all about that." The amount
Can't remember everything
of stuff that was forgotten that should have gone in there. I could have written another one easily, and I'm like, wow, forgot about that. And that again gave me a second wind of stuff of people coming to talk to me about stuff that we'd done with them at such a body that wasn't in the book that they'd remembered, and I was like, oh God, yeah, remember that. And
can't remember everything.
No, you can't. But it was good.
Lasting a long time.
Yeah,
you can't remember everything.
No, but it was. And again, I was very nervous when it come out because
a book about me,
a book about me. Is anyone going to buy that? What the hell are they going to read shit about me? And it just sold out instantly. And I was like, God, wow! And people were just wanting it signed. They read it. And I have people now who come to have them signed who've just read it now. That I don't know if they've got it or what they've done or whatever, and they're like, it's brilliant. I don't know how many years ago it was.
Was it 2017?
I don't know.
I read it.
Yeah, it would be 2017, 2018. Yeah, you just have to be
because it was after you well fine.
Yeah, it was.
It was after you well fine. So I read it 2 years ago.
Yeah,
that's the first time I picked it up.
Right.
But yeah, it was brilliant.
Yeah,
absolutely brilliant. Yeah. And in my head, I'm like, how has he remembered all of this? But obviously, you've got somebody, and then he would have reminded you of stuff. And you'd be like, yes.
Yeah.
And then you would have clicked in your head.
Yeah, and
like,
I did
write that down. Do that.
We probably talked for about a year.
Really?
Yeah. I know it was a long process, and I'd make notes and stuff. I'd remember stuff and I'd write it down, and then when it come back the week, like month after or whatever, we'd sit and I'd go,
I've got this.
that. Yeah. So it was, yeah. Oh, yeah, it was another thing that it was good to. And when people fetch it to sign now. Again, it makes me very proud that they'll come with this book, and I'm like, yeah, I remember that.
That's another one. That probably wasn't your dream, but then once it got going, it's like, wow, this is one of my goals now. I'm going to write a book.
Yeah.
And now you could probably write another 3.
Yeah, I probably will definitely do another one.
Yeah.
Whether before I finish or after I finish, but a summary.
So you enjoyed it then, and you enjoyed it enough.
Yeah.
And it is all these. It's about making a memory for everyone as well.
It is, and the stories the stuff that happens that. When you race all these meetings and all this stuff that you do, and you chat to general people about stuff, they're like, "You did what? You swapped a cylinder head on a bus outside it?" And I'm like, "On the side of the M25," and I'm like, "Oh yeah, I wanted to get to the meeting." Do you know what I mean? I'm like. They're like, what? And that person that you borrowed the tools off and the you got the gearbox off and you got the cylinder head bits off, and all them people that helped you do that. Do you know, because they love the sport. Again, it's all intertwined to everybody. It was always a thing like back when my dad raced. If you broke down anywhere in the country, you could ring somebody who'd live 10 miles away, and they'd be there. Mm-hmm. They'd come to you.
It's still to that day like that now.
Yeah, they'd come to you and help you out, give you whatever you need. I remember going to a meeting with my dad in the late 80s, and we lost both back wheels off the bus. The hub all disintegrated. How it never rolled over, I do not know. And Paul, the driver, Paul Williams, managed to get it onto hard shoulder. And we were literally, where they come off, it was about 3 miles from Wayne Handley again, who I got the gearbox off for my bus. And we got hold of him somehow and said, do you have a hub assembly? He said, I'm just building a bus for myself, a new bus. He said, take it off that. He said, no, just come and get it, same bus, you know what I mean? And it was literally 3 miles away at field, and we went over and we got all this hub assembly off his bus and come back and fixed my dad's bus and got it. And you just think, would that happen these days? I don't know if it would, but Jesus Christ, but the stuff you do.
Yeah, no, I think it would.
And people that are involved that keep you racing, just, yeah.
Massive. Oh. Brilliant. We move on now to future plans. Still just carry on doing what you're doing.
Yep.
Still going over to New Zealand.
Yep.
Going over to Holland.
Yep. Nothing changes. I'm a bit...
It's brilliant.
Yeah.
Until you stop enjoying it, that's what you're going to carry on doing. That's it.
Like, Venray now has a different aspect to it. The fact that we take Harry because we've got centre parts for a few days.
Yeah.
And I have time with him.
Yeah.
And that spurs on we're racing, but I can go and have
family time,
a little bit of family time with him and make memories with him.
Yeah.
He's fetched a different part to my life that I didn't expect. Mm-hmm. Like, if I get interviewed and I mention his name, it breaks me. Brendan.
Which is here now.
Yeah. You couldn't time that, could you?
No, definitely not. Right, I think that's a good time to end there.
It's fetched not the closure, because I'm not finishing.
No.
But it's the next chapter of where we're going and what we're doing. He just loves the racing, he loves being on the truck, he loves going racing, he loves meeting the people, he loves every part of it, and it's why we do what we do, innit? Is it why we do it? Yeah, it is.
Well, it's the next generation now.
It is the next generation.
You're now the granddad.
Yes, which I wasn't that keen on to start with, to be honest. Granddads are old, aren't they? They're old and...
Well, this one's still racing and still winning,
yes.
so...
I say I had a really good, close relationship with my grandparents. I was lucky enough. A lot of people in life aren't lucky to have that, and I was. And obviously I think it'll be the same with him, because he's here, he loves seeing us, he just lights up. He'll come and spend time with me and Sam, and he loves that. And that side of it is, it's important in
well,
life.
you saw what he'd done for you.
Yes.
And now you're going to give that to the next one.
Partly why that is.
Definitely.
And it was the same with Daniel. Daniel had the same relationship with my dad's mum and dad as I did. He was very close with them. He went off with my granddad everywhere, just the same as I did when I was little. And the memories you get from that, going to places, meeting people, the people I've met at auctions, people who know me because of my granddad.
Yeah.
And that's not the stock car side of it. That's the stock car side of it, the farming side of it. Not stock cars. And that leads on to people you meet at stock cars. Mm-hmm. And it's all part of it. And memories now. You talk to people who come to Experience Day who knew my granddad, and you know what I mean. It's all it all links in. I had a weird one last week. Strangest thing, a lad rang me, says, can I come up and buy some experience day vouchers for Christmas? Yeah, no problem. So my dad used to race in the 70s and 80s. I'm like, all right, what number were he? Number 70. I'm like, okay. And he got his phone out and he showed me a picture on his phone of his dad in 1980. And I looked at his phone and I'm like, I've seen that picture. You know, you got something in your head.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's a picture of his dad rolling over at Odsal Stadium. And then it twigged. So we have downstairs a bonnet that off I think it's an Opel Kadett, that a man painted a mural on of a stock car scene.
Right.
In 1980. And it's that picture on that man's phone, right? And I'm in here, and I'm like, it was last Tuesday. I'm like, no, the week before, the Tuesday before. I've seen that. I said, come with me. I recognise that. And we went down to this bonnet. I said, that's your dad there, upside down, isn't it? He went, that's my dad. I'm like, he said, what was he doing on that bonnet? I'm like, and he got his foot, and it was the same picture.
Mate, you painted that on the bonnet?
And it's on the bonnet down there. And he come to buy an experience day. Didn't know him, don't know him. And it just... And that's stuff mad, like that I absolutely love, because... And he sent me a sequence of pictures of the rollover and that what's on that bonnet of the standing picture. And my dad got presented with that probably in 1982, 83. And it's one of them things that you hang on the wall, a bit like the wing up there, and it's just there, isn't it? And what else do you do with it?
I don't know.
But then I've never, ever, ever had... Everybody's always look at it, but I've never had somebody, and it's his dad that's on that picture.
Yeah.
It's just one of them things, and it comes round, and him and his son were just like looking at this picture. I took pictures of it. I took a picture of it with him, and I said, just show your dad that, and just stuff like that. I like stuff like that because it's life, innit?
It's memories.
It happened in 1980. It's on a bonnet there,
and in 2025, it's come round to mean something to someone.
45 years ago. And it's just meant something to him that he's just seen his dad on that bonnet down there. It's just random, mad. weird. But I love that part of it because it's, like I say, it's stuff you can't buy, it's stuff you don't have, you don't win it. It's just a thing, a memory that comes back 45 years. There's your dad on that. Mm-hmm. Mad.
And you've got plenty of them.
Yeah, and he's going to come and do another experience day and just, he's already done one. And he wanted to come with some of his son and a few others and do another one. So, yeah.
Nice. Wicked.
Superb.
Thank you very much, Frankie. I appreciate you taking your time out of your busy weekend.
Yes.
Had to wait till the off-season to get him, but we got him in the end.
No,
thanks very much. Good. I appreciate it. That was brilliant.
Thank you.
Absolutely brilliant.
Thank you very much.
No worries.
Hope you enjoyed it.
I did. Thank you everyone for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. The most asked about video, or asked for video, and we finally got it done. Thank you very much, and we'll see you in the next one.
Thank you for watching.